Bank of Western Oklahoma, State Farm Agent Dwayne Matthews, Compass Athletics, Western Drug, Great Plains Bank, R5 Custom Embroidery, M&D Enterprises and the Lawnmower Shop, The Bearded Barber, Sealing State Bank, and Smith & Company Auction and Realty. Here with the call of tonight's game is Tyler Riggs and Eric Scott.
Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us as we're coming to you live from the Tornado Bowl in Clinton tonight. The Boomers on the road trying to challenge the Red Tornadoes. Clinton coming into this game at 5-1, ranked number 9 according to the Oklahomans. The only blemish on the season, if you will, for the Red Tornadoes, a loss to Weatherford 21-10 a few weeks ago, I should say. And Eric, the Boomers, of course, coming off that win last week against Douglas, one where you did a lot of really good things, especially defensively. This team got after the Trojans. You had 2 defensive touchdowns. You forced a couple of safeties. And then offensively had opportunities to move the ball. Didn't quite maybe finish as many of those as you'd like to see. Still, though, produced 10 of those 27 points with the field goal and a touchdown. Boomers trying to carry some of that confidence into this week.
Yeah, it's, getting that confidence. And on the backs of the defense. It's 100% on the back of the defense. You mentioned, 2 defensive touchdowns in the last game. We know that's our bread and butter. And, against a team like Clinton, defense is going to have to step up huge. They don't do anything special. They do the same thing they always do, but they do it so well. And so, the defense has got to be able to play well, do what they're supposed to do. And then the offense, you just look at the things you did last week. You had opportunities. Some of those opportunities may not have been, necessarily the right calls or whatever, but you can't worry about that. We also had plenty of opportunities that we just straight up missed. And so the offense has just got to come out and respond from that and just have a better game tonight.
And Ely, good to welcome you back to the sidelines. And, man, I tell you what, you've been there as a player. Sometimes you go through maybe a rough stretch, in terms of you lose a couple games or whatnot, but you get that first big win of the season. It's always got to feel good as a player and in the locker room, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to get a win, A W is better than an L, but the biggest thing is carrying that momentum over. I mean, obviously the defense has kind of been our backbone all year, and it kind of feels nice for the defense to kind of be the reason we finally got that win. They've held it down all year, and then they really have that performance that breaks them open. So just carry that confidence over and stay composed as to what you can do.
And Eric, of course, we've talked about the senior bunch the last couple of weeks a lot. It was the seniors leading the way on that defensive effort, right? Mason Boyd, 3 interceptions in that game. Had to pick 6, of course, to get started with the scoring. We saw Kason Bourne have that scoop and score after the youngster Trip Bates forced the fumble. And that's just stuff that, for a group that's worked really hard, despite some of the ups and downs of the season, it's awesome to see that be rewarded, if you will.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that last week. We talked about it with Coach Gordon on the coach show before is, really we got so many young guys that make a difference as well, but the seniors really complement what the young guys can do. And then on top of that, there's just the leadership they bring and trying to bring the guys together and all that kind of stuff. The senior, they're not exactly the most vocal group in the world as far as the seniors go, but because of their work ethic and go out there and do what they do, I think that's helped a lot with the young guys.
Absolutely. Look at the series history for this game between Woodward and Clinton. A lot of meetings, 66 since 1953. That's according to Iowa's at the game. In terms of games recorded, and then you've got, obviously this being the 67th matchup. Clinton has owned the series there, 51 wins to Woodward's 13 this series, and the only win, surprisingly, that the Boomers have earned within the 2000s as a whole came in 2017. 19-18, Woodward was able to get that win, so it has been a rivalry, right? These two teams match up in every other sport, and it's always an intense contest, no matter what sport it is, but at least in football, Clinton's had kind of that edge. I mean, the Boomers hungry to try to right that, but it's not easy to try to be able to call it back against a team that has kind of had your number.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the unfortunate things, like you said, that these kids play each other, from an early age, and now that they're building the BB program up, they're playing each other at that young age now. all through middle school, and then you get to high school. But, a lot of it is the tradition that has been built here at Clinton. I mean, I'll walk by one of the signs that showed the district championships between the 50s all the way through. And,
Right.
I didn't want to stand there and count them. There's so many of them, and one of the things is that gets in the head of their opponents, and that's why once you build that winning tradition, people have got to figure out how to overcome it. And unfortunately, the Boomers, this is one place that we've always struggled playing.
We'll see if they can improve on that tonight, and getting into what should be a pretty good night for football. A little cooler finally in terms of the weather. We're not sweating. It's not 90 degrees. Maybe a little chilly.
You're having to say that, aren't you? Since I'm wearing shorts right now.
That was your decision. It's a little windy tonight, big gusty, so we'll see how that plays into things, whether it be the kicking, punting aspect of it. But otherwise, should settle into a cool, crisp October night finally. We've been waiting on that for at least a couple weeks. Great venue as well in terms of the Tornado Bowl. Got that turf out there looking solid. So with that all said, we'll step aside for our first break, and on the other side, you'll hear some thoughts from Coach Gordon on the win last week, and, of course, previewing tonight's matchup against Clinton. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Every family has a story filled with chapters of love, laughter, and dreams for the future. But what if one day you're not there to help write the next chapter? Life is unpredictable, but your love for your family shouldn't be. With State Farm Life Insurance, Gwaine Matthews and Woodward can help ensure your story continues, even when you're not there to turn the page. Protect the chapters yet to come. Talk to Gwaine Matthews, because your story deserves to be told.
Should be hearing some thoughts from Coach Gordon here in just a moment. Nope. Okay. I guess we'll bring it back here, actually. So, Derek, of course, talked to Coach Gordon yesterday. We didn't have a coach's show, but, called him up, got his thoughts. So, basically was proud of the defense for their effort. And it was, in his mind, a culmination really of everything that we had talked to him about leading up to that game, just going out, playing hard, giving that effort, and coming through on that. And then obviously still looking at, like you mentioned to CJ earlier, yeah, they were looking at some of those things offensively that they could have done just a touch bit better, execute a bit crisper. And I think, Eric, that's the one complaint when we kind of look back from last week. The only thing is you want to be a bit cleaner this week, especially on the offensive side, because against Clinton, you can't really afford those type of mistakes or give them those type of advantages.
Yeah, and we talked about going into last game, before the game. I said, they have an opportunity to make some mistakes against a team like Douglas. You're still going to be able to pull that win off, but, there was more mistakes than anticipated. And I think the one thing that when the guys are able to look back at film and see things, and talking to Coach Gordon before, he talked about there was some holding calls that he was right in front. And he's like that's definitely not a hold, but at the same time, you still got to adjust the way it's been calling, while also trying to do what you do, and you can't get too worried, too wrapped up in the mistakes that you made. Just go out and correct them.
For sure. And looking around as far as Northwest Oklahoma tonight, a lot of, obviously, pretty much everybody playing tonight, with it being fall break week for a lot of teams and schools, including Woodward Clinton. As far as district goes, the other district matchups tonight, some interesting ones. Elk City on the road against Douglas. Weatherford challenges Elgin, so that's probably the biggest clash, obviously, in 4A1. Figure out kind of who's legit there. Elgin's look very good. Weatherford got that big win over Clinton earlier this season. And then the final game of the district, Ridge Creek and Cache. That one at Cache, and Ridge Creek will be the homecoming opponent next week for Woodward. So we'll continue to kind of see how that compares. Obviously, we'll finally have a more common opponent there, between Woodward and Ridge Creek. Ridge Creek did beat Douglas earlier in the year, 48-6, but Douglas had been struggling with some injuries at that point, so you're not sure kind of what they had for that game. I think this one will give us a really good idea of kind of what Ridge Creek is about against Cache. looking around more of northwest Oklahoma. Had some games earlier today, actually, in the 8-man side of things. Garber was able to get the win over Pine Creek Hunter 40-6. That was a battle of a couple one-loss teams. Pioneer Pleasantville rolled over Oklahoma Bible 56-8. Also had Wacomas beat Coyle 42-6. And it was Sealing Big over Shattuck 56, or excuse me, lost that one. We'll find it.
50
nothing is what it was. Yes, I'd say it was a shutout. So Sealing continues rolling tonight. Man, there's some, especially if you tune in on K101, they're going to talk about them throughout tonight for sure and highlight those. But Class A, Division I, Fairview Hooker, 1 versus 2 going at it in Texas County there in Hooker. That should be fantastic. On the 8-man side, Beaver County, Turpin hosts Laverne, 1 versus 2 there, at least according to the Squirtle rankings. That ought to be a classic matchup. So should be some good games on tap to kind of follow, watch along as we're going along here in Clinton. But diving into the Red Tornadoes, more of what they're about. Of course, coached by John Higbee. He's been here for a few years now, has taken over the program, continued on with what they do, of course, with the Clinton sweep and that tough, tenacious defense. Eric, a little bit of an interesting, I wouldn't say controversy, but we've noticed the Red Tornadoes last couple of weeks have been without Katavian Hill, one of their big running backs. Him and Zayden Collins are usually their dynamic duo. Now it's just mainly Zayden Collins kind of having to combo with Darren Hester and a few other backs in there. So that's a senior that they don't have at the moment. Another senior big offensive lineman for them out at the moment because it's Cole Bailey, 6'2", 315. Kind of takes away some of their size from their line. Still pretty solid throughout. And then at the quarterback position, they've had a bit of a controversy. Last week, you had the junior, Sutton Hernandez, leading the squad. They get down early to Elk City, 21-7. Well, in comes another Powell. You remember Caden Powell, of course, a few years back, led them to that state championship, was a phenomenal 3-sport athlete. Now you got the young freshman, Easton Powell, stepped in, saved the day for the Red Tornadoes, helped lead the scoring drives to bring them back. They eventually kicked the field goal to win that game, and it was Carlos De La Fuente, kicker, senior, that scored the win essentially for the Red Tornadoes. And could see a freshman quarterback out here for Clinton in that sense. I know they don't pass a lot, Eric, but still a guy that's got to operate the offense. So if you're the Boomers, a chance to maybe, get an unexperienced quarterback a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, you get an unexperienced quarterback. Seeing him as a middle school kid, he's definitely a kid who does not lack confidence. He carries himself with a lot of swag out there on the field, and I think that's one of those things where it's not a matter of him not thinking he can do it or being scared, but if you can get to him and frustrate him, if he comes in, we're more than likely we're going to see him. And so when he comes in, just go out there and just frustrate him and try to see if we can get in his head a little bit more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Now bring us to our Wayne Matthews State Farm agent starting lineup. So we'll go with Clinton. Mentioned them, of course, touched on them a bit, but we'll either see Sutton Hernandez or Easton Powell quarterback. We'll see Zayden Collins take the bulk of the carries. At the receiver spots, you'll see a combination of Darren Hester, Jesus Gutierrez, Vicente Gutierrez, Darius Romanos. Those kind of 4 main receivers. They got fullback Cooper Whitetail that's pretty solid. Tight end, sophomore Ethan Laughlin that is also a solid kid for his age. On the line, very experienced offensive line. Would have had 5 seniors out there, but obviously the injury we mentioned took out one of those seniors. So it's Braden Fuller, the junior, Brady Chittum, the left guard, the senior, at center Joe Badillo, another senior, Alan Ruiz, a senior right guard, Marcus Wilson, a senior right tackle. And Eric, as we talked about a little bit already, Clinton doesn't do anything fancy, but it's blocked well. And when you've got, a very experienced offensive line, it's a unit that is going to execute at a high level for Clinton.
Yeah, we talked about multiple games with especially some of the other offenses we played. It's about playing your assignment and doing what you're supposed to do, not trying to do too much. And when you go against another team like Clinton, who does block so well, you got to make sure you're doing your part, getting in the right gaps, and making sure you're getting to the ball.
Definitely. So look at the Clinton defense now. See some of these guys going 2 ways. They go with the 4-down lineman look. See Marcus Wilson, Braden Fuller, a couple names we'd already mentioned on our offensive side. and then Alex May, a sophomore at that D tackle spot, and the big senior along that defensive line, Wyatt Willoughby. He is a load, generally playing kind of more of that closer to an end spot. The linebackers, Zayden Collins will lead that. You'll see Race Elliott, also a senior, Cooper Whitetail. The one guy we'll have a question of, kind of in the similar vein of Katavian Hill, is going to be Malachi Lauren, senior linebacker, arguably their best. He's been absent the last couple of weeks, so if he doesn't play again tonight, that's two big injuries that Clinton does have that they'll have to deal with. Defensive backfield, corners, DBs, you got Darius Romanos, Marcelo Juarez, Darren Hester, and Marquise Martin. Katavian Hill, if he is healthy, would play there as well. So, and Eric, it's a defensive unit that, like you mentioned, 4-down linemen, you don't see that as much in the modern-day defenses, but boy, they play well, and they will get after it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit, went back and watched a little bit of their Bridge Creek game. Not nearly as much as I wanted to, but it was more of the defensive front that I saw that was kind of the one who could disrupt the offense the most. And unfortunately for Boomers, we know that's with the struggles the offensive line has had, and the fact that we need a little bit extra time to make things happen. That's one thing I worry about tonight coming in, as far as facing that defense, the Red Tornado defense.
And on the Boomer side, no real big changes in the starting lineup, of course. We did mention, of course, last week you got Drake Roberts back. He was moved into the guard spot. That was kind of the interesting note there. They're keeping Trejo Alcerode, Corvins Marco at those tackle spots. And it seemed like that line did open some really good holes last week for Cooper Latala and the Boomer backfield.
Yeah, it's been 2 straight weeks. We started seeing it at Cache where some things started working pretty well on the offensive line, and we saw it this past week. But let's face it, those two opponents don't have the defensive line that Clinton has. So this will be as they've started playing well, this will be the real test for the Boomers.
And as far as the outside, of course, quarterback, senior Ryan Douglas Fisher leading the way. And the receivers, the big 2 names you want to keep an eye on, as usual, Cole Moore, Jake Graff. They had some explosive plays last week here in the passing game. That's usually the X factor for us. Unfortunately, those explosive plays called back because of some of those penalties. But when they start connecting, especially when it's Douglas Fisher, DeGraff, or Cole Moore, or both, you could have some exciting things happen for this Boomer offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I was talking about as far as the things that happened last week. Yeah, you got to make them. You got to think about them and correct them. But you also did some things well within those mistakes. If that where the offense did some things we haven't seen a lot. Even though they were called back, we know they can happen. And so you just got to be able to take away those mistakes you make and roll with what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. And a look at those starting lineups brought to you by State Farm agent Wayne Matthews. Talk with Wayne Matthews about creating a personal price plan to help you save money, protect yourself and your loved ones. Visit 1400 9th Street in Woodward. Wayne Matthews, State Farm agent, bringing you the starting lineups. Also powering Boomer football, Great Plains Bank, Heritage, Trust, Respect. Those are the things that make Great Plains Bank great. Deep roots across Oklahoma and Texas, they are in touch with the communities in which their customers live and work. Great Plains Bank, powering the Boomer sports. And of course, we mentioned this next week. You have the big homecoming weekend, so that will be a lot of fun. Have the parade Friday afternoon, and then we'll welcome that Bridge Creek team in. Might see us out there in the parade. Eric has, I think, volunteered to do some driving for us. We'll see.
Let's do that. We know I'll drive better than Ely.
I don't even see Ely. He's running from the allegations.
Look at him down there throwing his hands up like, what?
But that'll be against Bridge Creek. It'll be a lot of fun. Of course, we'll have that here on Z92 and Boomer TV. Ely, I want to throw it to you on this. You played for a physical bunch there in Moreland. That's kind of your guys' staple, So when you were going against teams that were also, hard-nosed, we're going to be downhill at you, how do you try to match that, especially when you're in a road environment like this that is going to be pretty raucous?
Just use the fact that you're physical, and that's kind of your style too, against them. I mean, usually teams like that use it to their advantage because other teams aren't like that. But when you're kind of got 2 hard-nosed teams playing against each other, that's some of the best football you got because both teams don't want to be out physical, so kind of pride kicks in there. But I would just say try to be more physical than the other team, even though they're physical too.
So, I mean, in short, Eric, basically, hey, don't be afraid to match hat versus hat, right? That's something that, at least so far this season, we've seen the Boomers do a good job at, but this is that new level. We talked about this kind of off air. This is a chance to see where you're at compared to where you were against Elgin, right? Elgin, very solid all-around team, executed well. Now another milestone game here against another team that was supposed to be a favorite in the district right there with Elgin, to measure yourself and say, okay, how far have we come over these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, and I think there's also the mental aspect, especially for, those seniors who, they played Clinton and they've, really struggled against Clinton over the years, but the defense is playing on a different level than they have played, in the past. So it's a chance for those seniors, especially Casey Boren and, Mason Boring, and I had to kind of pause because sometimes when you say them together, it makes it all confusing. But it's a chance for those guys to go out and show that, hey, we're a better team than we have been. We've been playing with a lot of confidence. We've been playing with a lot of heart. And so not only just showing what they've done against other teams, but just their personal rivalry against the Red Tornadoes.
Definitely so. And of course, the jersey matchups tonight, we want to let you know there. Boomers wearing the white outlook, as we call it, the white jerseys, white pants. Got the black numbers and text, along with the black helmet, white W and numbers on the sides of that. Clinton going to be wearing that home maroon and gold Bailey maroon on the tops. I believe they got the actually white pants tie as well, so that'd be a bit different there. And then they've got some of that gold trimming, white numbers and text trimmed in the gold and maroon. So, guys, as we inch closer to kickoff, what's kind of the final keys you think in your mind tonight for the Boomers to come out and be competitive and have a real shot to win this thing?
Just kind of as we've talked about, I think everything comes back to the defense. Start well. Defense has done a pretty good job of creating turnovers. And so when the defense creates those turnovers or gets those big pioneer stops,
defensive stands,
when they come up with those, the offense has got to capitalize on that. Even if you don't score, you got to move the ball and win a field position game.
The one thing I'd say is don't let them overlook you. I mean, Woodward kind of has a record that doesn't look so good on paper. I mean, their one win is against a team who hasn't won a game, and
they won one.
They did win.
They have won one game.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Those hand signals were kind of confusing me up there, but they beat Douglas, who hasn't won a game, so that can tend to get, as a team, get overlooked by teams like Clinton, like Weatherford, like Elgin. I would just say don't let that happen. Come out early, hit them in the mouth early. I mean, just set it straight that they're not just going to roll over and let them have this win.
Definitely.
For everybody at home, just to kind of let you know, he takes his headphones off because of the delays, so that's why he could.
Yeah,
they have won one game.
They did beat Star Spencer Douglas, so they got the one.
But
your point still stands. The point definitely is very much in line, because you're right. You don't want to be overlooked, and you got to go out and earn that, right? So you got to prove to that. So.
And we talked about, it felt like the Boomers somewhat did that against Douglas as well at times, where, they're almost too confident in the way they played, and it caused them to make a few mistakes here and there. With Clinton, it's the opposite. You can't go into it thinking, this is Clinton, they're really good. You've got to go in there and just play ball.
And now we'll pause here for the national anthem. Looks like Clinton's got a group that will give us a rendition of the national anthem. And we are on the visitor side tonight, so hopefully that picked up at least a little bit on the national anthem there. Kind of decided, hey, you know what? We're going to be with the crowd, the Boomer crowd tonight, baby, on this side. So I think will be a good environment for us. I like it. I like it.
I made me shivering.
Oh, you'll survive. Eric's
I was about to say that too. I forgot
He forgot
the sweater in the car, and I think it's gonna pay its dividends come fourth quarter.
You guys, see, Eric's in shorts, Ely's in a t-shirt. I'm the one that's got the hoodie and pants, so I'm just saying I can't prepare.
We're more manly, Eric.
Yeah, that's right.
Not when you're complaining about it. That's for sure.
But here's the deal. I didn't know we were going to be outside until I was already in Weatherford for appointments today.
Excuses.
I went to Dollar General. I went to Atwood's. I went to try to find some sweatpants and couldn't find anything. I don't think they have a Walmart here. Did you know that?
That's kind of surprising.
So I guess because there's Elk City and Weatherford Walmarts, they don't.
Okay.
It's kind of disappointed in it, actually. When I needed some sweatpants.
But, Eric, from your standpoint on this, if you're a coach, what's the one thing you want to see Woodward accomplish tonight? Win or lose, what do you want to see this team be able to do tonight?
Just play as close to 4 quarters as we can. We talked a little bit about that going into last week, where we're like, we need to play 4 quarters, get a full game in. They didn't do it. So here's another opportunity. It's one of those teams if you're gonna have an opportunity to try to pull off the upset, you're gonna have to play about as perfect as you can play. And so just do everything you can to minimize those mistakes and to execute where you need to execute.
And getting ready for the coin toss for the Boomers, of course, as it's been all season. Luke Parkhurst, Kason Bourne, Ryan Douglas Fisher, Cooper Tall, the captains. As far as Clinton goes, it would be Zayden Collins, Carlos De La Fuente, Darius Romanos, and, of course, Brady Chittum, all seniors for Clinton there, coin toss captains. So we'll see how this one goes. As far as the result, obviously the Boomers, I'm sure, would prefer to start on defense. We've seen that a common theme so far this year for them. Even sometimes starting on defense twice in games, whether it be each half. Very confident in that.
Something we did not know is even possible. Apparently there's a rule about it.
Yes. So, and the Boomers lined up in the end zone, ready to introduce themselves. Of course, got the cheerleaders out there, ready to welcome them as well. Sun finally sitting here in Clinton, so shaping up to be a beautiful night. Finally getting to the coin toss.
It's like, what we got going?
Maybe had a special coin there or something. I don't know. And it looks like Clinton has won the toss and they have deferred. So the Boomers will start on offense with that deference and probably going to be trying to go with the win, it looks like, as far as the end zone. Not the worst decision, obviously.
Yeah, and the Clinton's probably, we've seen how good their defense can play. And it looks like the coach is now questioning the decision they made.
Well, that's interesting. Anyways, but I think it's about the end zone side. Yeah, the coaches out here talking about it. But, Eric, that is a factor tonight. We touched on it a little bit, but it is gusty. Supposed to be 30 miles an hour tonight. So, now there's argument because Coach Gordon said, hey, you already made the decision. So we'll see what okay, Boomers will receive, I believe. So I think the problem was that Clinton deferred. And
so Clinton deferred to the second half, and they picked to defend on the right side of the field, and their coach came in and corrected them.
Okay.
And Woodward's coach isn't very happy about that right now.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. It was an issue with picking the end zone to defend.
Which, honestly, what just happened goes back to what we talked about with the double kick was the player said the wrong thing.
Right.
And so because the player had already said the wrong thing, it couldn't be corrected. And I think that's probably what Coach Gordon was arguing here.
Yeah, because it was Clinton player.
Because why go back?
They had that until Woodward did. So, interesting. All right. So already some early controversy in this one. as we get ready for it. Did mention, of course, was correct, Clinton in the white pants as well. So both teams wearing the white pants, Clinton with white helmets, so out of contrast as well. A good Thursday night, I should say, for some football. See, I almost caught myself.
Thursday night under the lights.
Thursday night under lights instead of our usual Friday. It should make for hopefully a good fall break for everybody as the Boomers make their way onto the field as the team. Got the cowbells rolling. And the Boomer Band, of course, traveling. Jason Crockett and crew lead the way there.
Come on, Tyler.
Clap with it.
Let's go.
Get that hype.
Good thing about hometown radio is you can be a homer. It's okay.
So Eric, seeing that offense first, then the defense. I mean, is there a couple plays that you want to see them run early, maybe to get them established? Is it one of those quick screens? Is it maybe kind of that halfback dive? Because we've seen against Cash. Cash was really aggressive, trying to pin the ears back on the Boomers early. Woodward took advantage of that. I feel Clinton may try to do that as well, where they're going to send a house on you early, see if you could respond. Do you think we see that from the defense or not?
Yeah, I think everything the offense is going to do tonight is going to have to kind of hinge on what the passing game can do. Because if you can spread the field out a little bit, I'm not saying like go full spread offense type of thing, but you can go sideline to sideline, screens, curls on the sidelines, different things like that. Spread that defense out a little bit, so that's going to allow you to open up those holes up front for the run.
That it could. And as we mentioned, De La Fuente on the kick for the Red Tornadoes. And for the Boomers, the Cooper Latal, Colt Moore, the usual returners. And Clinton going with the win in this first quarter. So we mentioned that dispute earlier. Originally we're set to go into it. They got changed, maybe.
And I will, I think Clinton really, because they know their defense has an opportunity to make a statement, against the Boomers tonight. That's why they want to come out strong with the defense and, really kind of hopefully bring the Boomer morale down a little bit.
There's the whistle from the officials. De La Fuente checks with this kickoff team, puts the hand in the air, jogs to the ball, and we are underway tonight in Clinton as this kick sailing deep into the end zone for a touchback with the wind carrying well. De La Fuente himself does have a good leg. Will be a weapon should Clinton need it. As we'll see the Boomer offense take over at their own 20-yard line to start the ball game.
Is that what? Fired up. First down and 10 for the Boomers.
And we'll see Ryan Douglas Fisher and crew step onto the field.
I think really for the Boomers, obviously you want to go down the score, but even if you can't score, it's just move the ball, get a little bit of confidence on the offensive side.
Play that field position game. Looks like one of the Boomers, maybe Drake Roberts, having a bit of an equipment issue there. So I have to sub out. It was Drake. So in his steed on this play will be Irvin Vega. So it'll be Douglas Fisher in the gun. Two receivers to his left, one to the right. Out of the backfield motions, Latal to the right side. Douglas Fisher with the QB draw, trying to bounce it to the short side. Gets across the 20, cuts it up to about the 23. Went back to go forward a touch. And on the first play, Douglas Fisher, and that's a gain of a few.
Gain a few, but honestly, that's something I wasn't expecting us to do right away. We've seen Ryan Douglas run the ball, but it's usually whenever he rolls out to pass on a boot or something like that. So I kind of like this. I like the fact that they've changed it up a little bit.
2nd and 8 for the Boomers, just underway in the ball game. Douglas Fisher in the gun again. Two receivers to his right, one to his left. Latal flanking on the right side. They handed Latal looking on that short side, not seeing much at the line of scrimmage, as he'll get taken down quickly by the Clinton defense, host of Red Tornadoes there. No gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 8.
That's going to be really tough for the Boomers tonight, is being able to run the ball up the middle. That's we talked about. That's kind of the strength of the Clinton defense, is that front four.
So 3rd and 8 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Trips receivers to his right, one to the left, and Latal flanking left side. Back to pass, Douglas Fisher looking quick to that left side. That's incomplete, intended Looked like for Jake Graff, maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. Douglas Fisher zipped it to a spot he thought looked like Graff was going to maybe sit in the zone. Graff on the option went more towards the sideline.
I wasn't quite sure if it was to Jake or Luke Talley. It looked like Luke tried to make kind of a little bit of a curl and slipped on the turf. So, I could have gone to either of those guys, I think.
So I'll bring up a punt for the Boomers. Graff back to do the honors against the Wind. A very good kick against the Wind as this rolls into Clinton territory inside the 30 down to the 27. So Graff, despite the wind, able to make a good kick and flip the field a bit. As Clinton with 11:06 remaining in the first quarter will take over for their first offensive possession.
So now if you're the Boomer defense, Jake gave you an opportunity to back him up a little bit, not put so much pressure on you. Let's go out there and put helmet on helmet and make something happen.
We'll see who leads the Clinton offense, whether it'll be the freshman, Powell, or it'll be the junior, Hernandez, and it is going to be Sutton Hernandez under center tonight for the Red Tornado. So I have two receivers to his left, one tight end to his right. Man goes in motion. They'll flip it to Hester on the pitch. He gets a bit of a block to the outside, trying to cut up across the 30, breaks the tackle, 35-40, still down the sideline before he's knocked out of bounds just past the 45-yard line, gets to about the 47, and it's a 20-yard gain for Darren Hester.
I'd like to see the Boomers try to string that out a little bit more. We know that, especially when they kind of run that out to the outside, they're going to try to get as much room as they can before they cut it up the field. String it out a little bit, let your linebackers come in and make a play.
Hernandez under center again, two receivers to the left side as well as two tight ends set. They'll flip it to Collins, who's going to that left side, getting a couple blocks across the 50 to the 45 Boomer territory. Still fighting off tackles down to the 40-yard line before he spun down. Looked like Cooper Gregory, one of those in on the tackle. But it's another first down for Clinton. This is what we talked about. They're going to come out, try to be smash mouth to start.
Yeah, they're so disciplined with their blocking, and and the running backs are disciplined as well. They don't try to do too much. They take what is given to them. They got great field vision.
High formation look for Hernandez under center. One receiver to the left side. They'll give it to the big fullback in Whitetail, and he'll surge forward for about a gain of 4 before finally being drugged down. That's a big load to try to take down.
Yeah, and that's one thing whenever I went back and watched film on him that I was kind of worried about, because we've seen that little quick fullback guy. Yeah, that really, even against Cash, there was a touchdown against Cash scored against us on a play like that. So, there's some Boomers really going to pay attention to.
2nd and 6 for Clinton at the Boomer 35. 10 minutes remains first quarter. Hernandez under center, high formation look, two receivers to the left side. They'll hand it off to Contavious Hill, who is in the ball game, and the Boomers blow him up for no gain. Look like Cason Bourne as well as Reese Durkee. No, Colin Bowen Morton, getting in there.
But man, Cason read that all the way, got through there quick to be able to hit him. I think they got him with no gain, but he hit him initially, a yard or two back.
But Hill probably going to be on a bit of a pitch count tonight, if you will. Didn't play last week. We mentioned against Oak City, so he may not be 100%. Now he got a 3rd and 6 for Clinton. Hernandez in the gun. They put a man in motion. It's Romanos. They give it to him on the sweep. Boomers trying to get to him on the edge. Bounces off one tackle, lowers the shoulder, finishes the run, and it looks like he has the first down, maybe by a yard.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he needed to go, and that's the thing about Clinton. They're well coached. There's a culture of good IQ football. He knew exactly where the sticks were and where he needed to go.
And one of those that the Boomers looked like they stretched out a bit, but just tough to bring down some of these Clinton runners. So 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes at the Boomer 28, 9:15 remains first quarter. Hernandez under center, high formation. One receiver to the left side, which will be Juarez. And they'll toss out to Collins, trying to get to that left side. Flag comes in. Collins is going to race towards the end zone. Made a cut and he's gone, but a flag did come in early in the play. This is likely Eric coming back as the officials are signaling holding down on the field.
Yeah, it's coming back. It'll be a hold. That's one thing about Clinton is, they do a great job of blocking, but they will, if they get beat, make those mistakes of a hold. And another thing you got to watch with Clinton too is, they block low. They block low a lot. So, whether they get too low, that's something else you got to pay attention to.
So wipe off the 28-yard touchdown run for Collins, and instead Clinton backed up to, it looks like, the 30. 37-yard line. Should be the 38. So 1st and 20 for the Red Tornado in the shotgun. Bit of a wildcat look as it's Hester, the quarterback. Puts a man in motion across the formation. And they'll give it to him on the sweep. The Boomers all over it. As that was Marquise Martin taking the jet sweep and Woodward immediately on it.
That's what the Boomers going to have to do tonight. Do everything you can to stop that run game. When you've got a quarterback who struggled, this season, then you got, a freshman quarterback who may come in and do everything you can to disrupt their bread and butter.
So call it 2nd and 20 for the Red Tornadoes. 8:45 remains first quarter. Single back look as one receiver to the right side. Hernandez under center. They pitch it to Hill, who will be on the short side. Boomers get some early contact on him and take him down as he fights to the 35. Short gain for the Red Tornadoes. Forces 3rd and long.
Yeah, and you can tell that, Clinton's starting to get a little frustrated because they're not used to people getting contact on them in the backfield. And, it felt like, I don't know if Ely could see or not, but it looked like they may have, because they're trying to start to press a little bit. And it looked like maybe their offense jumped a little bit. But
So 8 minutes remains first quarter as the Reds under center with Hernandez. 3rd and 18. He's got a single back look. Receiver each side. Now man goes in motion. It's Hester to the right side. They fake the handoff. Suddenly, Hernandez looking for the pass. Contacted initially. The Boomers trying to get to him. And it's Brody Province slinging him down for a big loss on the sack. Looked like Case and Bourne first contact, and Province finishes it off.
Yeah, Case and blew in there, and it forced the quarterback to make a little bit of move, and that allowed Brody to come from behind and throw him down.
So the Boomers force a punt on Clinton's first drive. It will be De La Fuente also doing the punting duties. Clinton going to look to try to pin the Boomers deep. De La Fuente had to play it a bit careful with the wind behind him. And the punt, high one, doesn't carry very far. It's off the side of the foot and it goes out of bounds. Looks like maybe just before the 25-yard line. And yeah, they'll spot it at the 26. So the Boomers force the Pioneer defensive stand and get the ball back at their own 26. For their second possession of the game, Pioneer unleash tomorrow's potential with Pioneer Fiber Internet and get speed and reliability. Serve stream, stay connected with Pioneer Fiber. Pioneer powering the defensive stand this season for the Boomers.
Now the offense needs to come out and do what they can to make a statement. The defense did their job.
That they did. You love to see that. We talked about wanting to get that early momentum for the defense. 1st and 10 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Hands off to Latal. Looking to the right side. Surges forward across the 30. Up near the 34-yard line before he's taken down. A good first down run for the Boomers. Gain, it looks like, of 8.
A good job by Cooper. He didn't immediately take it and just go. He waited to kind of see what the defense was giving him, and that's part of the reason why that move was made earlier in the season, is the fact that he could see the field really well.
Has some good vision. We see him make some of those good cuts, those quick cuts, and like I said, patient, albeit. 6:35 remains first quarter. Boomers still tied at 0 with Clinton on their second offensive possession. Douglas Fisher in the gun, packed in tight. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Goes in motion, Colt Moore across formation. They'll give it to him on the jet sweep. He'll cut it up, trying to get to the first down marker. Gets tripped up at the 35, maybe got to the 36. It's going to be really close. Looks like maybe a yard short. It depends on where they spot him, 35 or 36.
Yeah, I think they spot him right at the 35.
So that's going to be a yard short. Just a gain of a yard. Clinton able to just get to him in the nick of time, it would play. So 3rd and 1 for the Boomers, trying to get their first down of the game. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter as we are still scoreless. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Latal flanking on the right side. Roland, the tight end, also on the right side. It's Douglas Fisher. 5 on the play clock. Takes the snap. Quick handoff to Latal. Gets across the 35 to the 37, maybe 38. Enough for the first down for the Boomers.
There's that draw you were talking about pregame. They were bringing everybody. Pretty much everybody was up on the line. And the Boomers had just enough of a delay in that draw that they were able to see the hole and pick up the first down.
And we saw that play a lot against Cash because we saw, Boomer coaching staff identify Cash was really trying to bring it on the edges. So they run it to success there. 1st and 10 for the Boomers. 5:30 in the first quarter. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Latal on the right side. Somebody jumped. I think it was the Boomers there. Jumped just a touch early.
Yeah, I think there was 2 or 3 guys that actually jumped in.
Just twitched a bit. And that's thankfully the first penalty we've seen on the Boomers so far in this first quarter. That was kind of an issue last week, whether it was the officiating crew or whatnot in terms of how they called it. There was a lot of holding calls and some of those false starts.
Yeah, the false starts, that's something you can't, that's inexcusable. That's just, getting too excited, getting too worked up and ready to go.
First and 15 now for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end and running back flanking right side. They fake the handoff, look for the quick pass to Graff over the middle. He's caught it across the 40, down to about the 43. Maybe lost the handle of the ball, but fell back on it quick. And a nice little play action slant. And it is to the 43. So nice game by the Boomers. Sits up second and about 5.
Yeah, with the wind the way it is tonight and the direction we're going right now, we're not going to see many of those, trying to go over the top. Just because of, the fact that, Ryan's not a true quarterback for one, and his balls do get a little wobbly.
You don't want to see it hang up in the air too long.
Let's just go short. Let's pick up what we can pick up, move the ball.
2nd and 5 for Woodward. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Fakes the handoff, going to try to look to run. Trying to follow blocks, gets near the 45-yard line. Be a short gain of 2 if they give him the 45. Looks like they gave him the 44. So just a gain of 1 will bring up 3rd and 4 for the Boomers. Some initial push there, but Clinton, as we know, fast to the ball. We'll swarm to it with those linebackers. Zayden Collins kind of leading that way. We'll see Luke Parkhurst check into the game here. Clock goes to 3:55 in the first quarter, still scoreless. Woodward on their second drive, trying to pick up another first down on this 3rd and 4 as they approach midfield. Douglas Fisher in the gun, trips to the left side, 1 to the right, as well as Latal to the right side. Douglas Fisher looking to pass. They want the screen play. They get it to Latal. He went through some trouble, though, and then got a big hit laid on by Zayden Collins back at the 40. Clinton sniffs out the screen play.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just took too long for Cooper to get through the line, and once that's such a timing type of play that once it gets disrupted, it's hard to convert on it.
So the Boomers will have to punt on the 4th and 9. They call it a loss of 5 officially to the 39. And Graff had a good first punt, was able to push the ball deep despite the wind in his face. Has laid down a little bit compared to what it was pregame so far. This clock goes to 3 minutes in the first quarter. Graff, clean snap. This one off the side of his foot a bit more, still carrying decently. Will take a Boomer roll, looks like to around the 30 before it rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, not the cleanest punt in the world, but the way Jay kicks the ball, it does allow itself to make a little bit of a kick downfield. Unfortunately, if you get into a coffin corner type of situation, that might struggle a little bit there, but his job is to get to flip the field as best as possible, and he did it yet again.
Instead of rolled out at the 29, so that's where Clinton will take over. Their own 29. 2:55 remains first quarter. We're still scoreless. As will be Hernandez under center yet again. Has 2 receivers to his right. Man in the backfield. Dotting a single back look and a couple of tight ends for the Red Tornadoes. As they'll hand it to Hill. Spins out of an initial tackle. Now the Boomers try to pile on him, and they do take him down. Hill did get across the 30 to about the 32, maybe 33.
Yeah, I think Zaylen Flores was able to get a hand on him right at the line of scrimmage, and he spun out and picked up what he could. But great, another good push overall by the Boomer defensive line.
They actually gave him 5 yards. They got him at the 34, so 2nd and 5 upcoming for the Reds. 2:25 remaining first quarter. Still scoreless. Hernandez under center, single back look. So we'll see 2 receivers to his right side, a couple tight ends again in the formation. They motion one of the tight ends, Whitetail, across. They'll pitch it to that short side. This time it's Hester. The Boomers get him in the backfield, and Colin Bourne coming downhill and get him.
Yeah, Colin Bourne read that all the way. It just came downhill and hit him hard. And they say he only lost. It looks like, or maybe they got him lost 1.
Yeah.
But still the way Colin came down and made that hit, that was a great play.
So now 3rd and 6 for the Red Tornadoes. Colin Bourne making that big play. As Clinton will come out of the I formation, kind of an offset I. Receiver each side. As Hernandez fakes the handoff, looking to pass downfield, looking towards the middle. He's got Hester over the middle, across the 50, 40, 35, 30. It's a foot race, and Mason Board pushes him out of bounds. And that one just opened up enough. Hester found some space over the middle of the field, and it's a big game for Clinton on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, it wasn't the best throw in the world, but Hester went up there and just kind of snagged that out of the air. Fortunately, he was able to do it in stride, which allowed
There is
him
a flag on the play, and they're calling a face mask on the Boomers. Okay. Wow.
Must have been off the ball.
Yeah, must have been a D-line situation. So the gain all the way down to the Boomer 22-yard line. This will be 45 yards in total on the catch and run by Hester. So 1st and 10 for Clinton, now throwing into Boomer territory with a minute 24 in the first quarter. Hernandez under center. I formation look, 2 receivers to the left side. None to the right. There's a tight end there.
They did decline the penalty.
Yeah, Clinton did decline the penalty. So.
Because I'm guessing because it would be a spot foul at that point.
Right, not an tackle on dead ball foul. So that's what they were sorting out there were the officials. As Clinton was lined up ready to roll. That was kind of the big thing, you want to prevent those big plays. Brewers did well that first time, but that time Clinton able to find one. So Hernandez under center, I formation, 2 receivers to the left, tight end to the right. As Hernandez hands off to Hill, tries to go up the gut, lowers his shoulder, and pushes a couple Boomers ahead as he gets across the 20. It looks like they'll mark him at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, he kind of got Levi Harris. Levi was in a great spot, but I think he just where his feet were set at the time of contact, and Levi just kind of grabbed him and rolled back.
So a gain of 6 for Hill on first down, makes it 2nd and 4 for the Red Tornadoes as we're down to 55 seconds remaining first quarter. Both teams still scoreless. Hernandez under center. Bit of an eye look, 2 receivers to the left side. Hernandez just going to take it up the gut himself and fell forward with more space than probably what he thought. I believe might have got the first down. It's going to be close. He fell near the marker. Looks like the 11, maybe the 12. If you got to 11, it is first down. They do give him the first. Although it looks like he only got to the 12, just got the nose of the football there.
I like the play call, though, the way the Boomers have been able to penetrate the line. The way the Boomers have been able to penetrate. And, might as well just keep it, let everybody go by you. Luckily, a Boomer was able to get a hand on him because he might have scored if there was no contact.
Under 30 seconds now in the first quarter. Hernandez again under center. Same look as last. They'll hand off to Hill this time. Looking to the right side. The Boomers trying to stand him up at the 10, and they do. So a short gain for Hill. The game actually looks like the 9 or the 8. It's a little bit more forward progress. What we thought called a gain of 4 on first down. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter, and it will. And we're scoreless here after 1 at the Tornado Bowl. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
And happy to be joined now by the head coach of the Woodward Boomers, Ken Gordon. And Coach, coming off that win, man, it seemed like you got contributions from all 3 phases. Obviously, the defense, story of the night, 2 touchdowns there. Guys forced a couple safeties as part of that as well. Some special teams plays. Offense was able to get a field goal, and then later in the game finally punched in that touchdown after having some opportunities. Let's start with the ball, though. We had talked to you last week about Douglas was going to have a couple players you had to watch out for, some younger cats. But overall, you allowed 1 touchdown with your second unit, and otherwise your first unit gave up 1, maybe 2 plays that were of substantial length. So talk about that defensive unit really getting after it against Douglas.
Yeah, I think
At Bank of Western Oklahoma, we've been a cornerstone of the community since 1908. Being locally owned and operated, we understand the values and the culture that define Western Oklahoma. From supporting local farmers to helping small businesses thrive, we take pride in offering personalized banking solutions that reflect our deep understanding of Western Oklahoma. Discover the difference of a bank that's been by your side for generations. Bank of Western Oklahoma, member an equal housing lender.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
And welcome back to Boomer football at the Tornado Bowl in Clinton. And the Red Tornadoes have indeed struck first, an 8-yard touchdown run by Darren Hester. It was a pitch play, Eric, or a handoff, I should say, and Hester cuts it back, finds open field, going all the way to the left, a little Reggie Bush-like.
Yeah, it wasn't, to me, it didn't look like it was bad defense by the Boomers. I thought the defense plugged up where he initially wanted to go. He just made a great job of recognizing where the move he needed to make and was able to come back across the field and score the touchdown.
Compass Athletics, from sports equipment to championship trophies and everything in between. Visit them 2024 Main Street in Woodward or call 580-256-7045. The R5 customer warranty. When you work with R5, you count on a quick, fun, and enjoyable process with results that consistently exceed your expectations. Chat with their screen printing experts about customized apparel. Visit them 817 Main Street in Woodward or call 580-256-3579. Compass Athletics and R5 powered Boomer Sports.
Haley, what do you want to see out of the Boomer offense here in the first possession of the second quarter?
Some things you've seen that have worked have been the fast developing plays. I mean, those plays that are quick and easy reads, they're not all the yards in the world, but hey, they work. They eventually get us that first down. But I mean, we got the win here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some deeper throws on this possession.
De La Fuente kicking into the wind, and this one going to be a shorter kick carrying. Kind of targeted to that sideline. Boomers got to fall on it. They don't. It took a flip bounce right back to the Red Tornadoes, and they'll recover it. Looked like the Boomers were kind of hesitant to try to play that one. Maybe I think that was Theron Eserby, thought maybe it was going to the sideline, and it just kicked right back to Clinton.
Yeah, and I think he also thought that, and I can't remember who was out on that side of the flow. I thought he was coming up. I wonder if maybe he was called off, a little bit. It just made a perfect bounce back to a Red Tornado gunner coming down the field. And he didn't even have to really make a play on the ball. It just made a play on him more than anything.
So Clinton will take right back over on the inadvertent onside. They'll be at the Boomer 26. And a timeout now being taken by Clinton before they get set up here. So unfortunate for the Boomers, just one of those weird plays.
It's a weird play that, it's kind of a learning type of play. That's something that's not going to happen again, I don't think, because now that the Boomers have seen it, very rarely do you see a kickoff in that situation where, the ball makes a kick back. You think you're going to have an opportunity to field the ball. So now you just know you got to go after every ball.
And the defense will be set up with a short field to try to defend here. Clinton on that last drive went 7 plays, 71 yards, taking about 3 minutes on that drive, right at 3 minutes.
Unfortunately, now the defense had to be back out there, has to go back out there again, didn't get much of a break, but again, the defense is the heart and soul of this team right now. They just have another opportunity to go out there and prove what they are.
Now you want to see one of those timely turnovers we've been forcing throughout the season in certain spots. So the Hernandez under center for the Red Tornadoes. I formation, 2 receivers to the left side. Collins, the man in the backfield, dotting the I. As Hernandez will hand off to him on the short side, tries to make a couple of jukes and a nice shoestring tackle, looked like by Mason Arnold on that right side.
Yeah, Mason Arnold, I think, is the one who finished it off. Trip Bates made a great jump off the snap and getting into the backfield. I think took away the hole he initially wanted to hit. Had to make a little bit of move.
So we have a 4-yard run, they'll call it. 2nd and 6 for the Red Tornadoes. 11:20 left in the half. Clinton leads 6-0 over the Boomers. As Hernandez back under center, a couple backs in the backfield. This time Hill dotting the I formation look. 2 receivers left side. Hernandez going with the quick screen pass. Hester makes a man miss. It was Gregory trying to get him. Hester getting the sideline up to the end zone. Oh, and a couple flags. Couple flags do come in for now. Hester has a 22-yard catch and run for the touchdown, but it is a couple flags, and it is a holding on Clinton coming back.
And again, that's another play where the Red Tornadoes, got into the end zone, and it wasn't something that the Boomers didn't do. He just made a great move to force him to miss.
Cooper Gregory was right there.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to get contact in the backfield, and made a great move.
So he raced the touchdown for the Red Tornadoes. We'll see where they marked the ball. It didn't look like they actually marked it too far off.
Second down, 6.
So I guess the hold was so far upfield, it just winds up being essentially replay of the down. It's Hernandez under center. 2nd and 6 again. 2 receivers to the left side. Man in the backfield, single back is Hill. They fake the handoff to him, looking to pass. Taking a deep shot, and in back of the end zone, and it's dropped by Laughlin, and a flag came out late as well in the backfield. So Laughlin unable to hang on. Back pylon throw by Hernandez. Not a bad one into the wind. And it is penalty on Clinton again. Legal man downfield, they'll say. So lineman too far upfield.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, he basically was probably less than a yard. I saw where the penalty came from, and he was probably less than a yard downfield. But luckily because of that, there could have easily been a pass interference on the play because he never turned to look for the ball in the end zone.
Brings up a 2nd and 12 for the Reds.
So I'll bring up 2nd down again, this time about 2nd and 11 from the 28. 2nd and 12, they say, excuse me. So 10:43 left in the half. Clinton leads 6-0. Trying to drive again after the inadvertent onside. Hernandez under center. 2 receivers left side. Now the backfield, Collins. They'll give it to him. Has a nice hole up the gut. Breaks a couple of tackles and finally spun down at the 20-yard line. It looked like, was that Mason Bourne spinning them down?
Yeah, I think Mason's the one who came in there. I couldn't quite tell who made the initial contact in the backfield, but Mason's the one who came in there and finished off the play.
So an 8-yard gain for Collins. Makes it 3rd and 4 for Clinton. The Boomers going to try and come up with a big stop here as Clinton knocks into the red zone. 10 minutes even left in the half. Red Tornadoes lead 6-0. Hernandez under center. Has that onset eye. 2 receivers to the left side again. Tight end on the right side. Hernandez with snap. Hand off to Collins up the gut again. This time a huge hole up to the 10. Trying to fight through some tackles. It gets tripped up about the 9. Dominique Gordon with a tackle there on the edge. But Collins had a big hole up the gut and used it to his advantage. A 10-yard gain.
I think that's one of those situations where the Boomers thought the ball was going to go on the outside to the right. They had basically had people in place to make that play, but because we spread it out, it allowed that hole to be open on the front line.
So that makes it 1st and goal for Clinton at the Boomer 9. 9:35 remaining in the half. Clinton trying to go up 2 touchdowns. Hernandez under center, receiver each side. A couple backs in the backfield. Hill dotting the I this time. They'll pitch it to him for the right side. Has tried cut back and a nice open field tackle. Colin Bourne again, just reading that Clinton sweep.
Yeah, Colin Bourne. It was his brother, Casey, who forced the cut. Colin was able to come in there, wrap up his ankles and bring him down. Caught him in the air pretty much, too, as he went to kind of make the jump cut.
So officially say no gain on the play. In fact, maybe looks like close to a loss of 1. So keeping Hill in check are the Boomers. 2nd and goal. Hernandez again under center, I formation. 2 receivers left side. This time Hester in the backfield. Hernandez just going to keep it himself, trying to surge forward. Casey Bourne, as well as it looked like Mason Arnold on him quick. Hernandez did gain a couple near the near the 5-yard line. So just a quick QB power, if you will.
Yeah, he did that perfectly. As soon as he got the snap, he just kind of hid behind his offensive lineman. That was kind of spreading out a little bit. He just kind of followed him back there. Luckily Casey and Mason were able to recognize where the quarterback was and kind of sneak in there and finish him off.
8:20 remain in the half. Clinton with a 3rd and goal from the Boomer 6. Hernandez under center, a couple receivers each side. Will hand off to Collins. He's trying to skate towards the end zone and spins his way in. Evaded a couple Boomer defenders, and Collins caps off the drive for Clinton with a 6-yard touchdown run. One of those where you have him in the phone booth and he just makes you miss a little bit.
Yeah, and that's exactly like what we talked about before the Boomers' offensive possession earlier that Ely said is, pick up those 4, 5, 6 yards here and there. Those add up. You're going to get a first down, and that's really all Clinton does is they just, continue to pick up yards. They don't, they made a catch earlier on the big play that was luckily called back, but, it just, you just got to continue to make those stops when you get an opportunity, get him in the backfield.
So that brings it to 13-0 in favor of Clinton. As they miss the extra point on the first touchdown, this time able to make it is De La Fuente. So now the Boomers will try to answer. Didn't get a chance because they have the inadvertent onside, if you will. We'll see if they can come up with something. Western Drug at 1021 Oklahoma Avenue in Woodward, and they've got friendly and carried staff in the drive-through window. That is awfully convenient. Always excellent service as well. Call them 580-256-5586. Western Drug powering Boomer Sports this season. As De La Fuente ready to kick it off again. Back deep. Cooper Littall, Colt Moore, the left and right side, respectively.
If you're Boomer returners, you got to remember the wind is going to hold the ball up a little bit.
Got to be ready if you're an up man for sure. I see Graff now kind of one of those up men. They put more of the hands unit out there to be ready for that. As there's the whistle for De La Fuente. Ooh, almost a false start as he was checking with his guys. And this one a bit more of a spirited kick towards Colt Moore. Fields about the 10-yard line. Coming from right now across the left side of the field, trying to cut it up. Brings a couple tackles, finds a little bit of a hole, still turning at the 30, and finally tricked down at the 35. But Colt Moore so shifty on these returns.
Yeah, he did a great job again of didn't do too much. We've talked about how, the IQ that Colt has, on the floor, going to basketball mode.
He's got it on the floor.
He's got it on the floor too, but he let the tackler come in and make the mistake. He let him over pursue and was able to pick up more yards.
So ball on the 36 for the Boomers. That's one they'll take over. 8:04 remaining in the half. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Littall flanking left side. And they'll hand off. No, fake the handoff to Littall. Again, quick over the middle. The graft, and that one through his hands wide. Not necessarily wide open on slant, but had beat Katavian Hill to the inside and just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, that's a tough drop for Jake. And I know that's going to eat him up a little bit right now, but a great throw by Ryan Douglas Fisher to hit Jake on the run. Yeah, I think we've seen Jake bounce back from mistakes he's made this season, so we're going to see him come out and make a difference at some point.
2nd and 10 now for the Boomers. 8 minutes remaining in the half. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Littall flanking. This time they hand it off to him up the gut as he surges across the 35 to maybe the 38. So a gain of a couple brings up 3rd and 8. Try to go with that draw play again. This time Clinton sniffed it out a little bit better. They do give him the 38, gain of 2. So now the Boomers trying to get to the first down marker here. Got to get to the 41. 7:30 remains in the half. Douglas Fisher in the gun. The Boomers trail 13-0. Has 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Littall in the backfield. Douglas Fisher back to pass. Some pressure coming to him. Over the side and an incomplete pass looking for Colt Moore, who was open, and a flag comes in the area where this might be
a pass interference.
Yeah, it might be some defensive holding or pass interference because Moore beat 2 Clinton defenders. Beat Romanos and Powell.
Kind of reached out and grabbed him I think a great job by Colt to, get through the 2 defenders. And it wasn't a bad pass at all either by Ryan Douglas Fisher, And,
that was on the money.
And I think that's what the fact that it was such a close pass and would have hit him in stride is why they, went ahead to the flag. You said, the defender impeded him.
And it was indeed that. So the Boomers get a first down up to the 48-yard line. Spot foul there. So first and 10 for the Boomers at their own 48. In the gun, Douglas Fisher, a couple of receivers to the left as well as a tight end, one to the right, Littall flanking the right side. They go with quarterback draw. Fisher tries to cut it out to the right side, breaks one tackle, trying to get upfield, but doesn't. And throwing him out of bounds there was Race Elliott, the linebacker, and that's the one thing Douglas Fisher, he likes to shrink it out, but at some point he got a play and go there.
Yeah, that's what, I kind of motion. It looked like he had an opportunity. If he would have make a cut, he would have picked up a few yards, but I still like the play call, and I think we had an opportunity to pick up some yards there.
So make it 2nd and 11 for the Boomers now. 7:10 remains in the half. Woodward trailing 13-0, trying to drive, get their first score of the game. As Douglas Fisher will be in the gun, empty set, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right, also has a tight end to the left side of the field. Littall, the inside receiver, and it looks like they'll go with the bubble play to him. Littall going to get hit in the backfield by Hill, breaks off that tackle, but taken down at the 40-yard line. Clinton sniffing that out. A flag came in as well.
Yeah, I think we may see a hold here.
And this would, if it's a hold, probably declined by Clinton. Would force a 3rd and long for the Boomers. And it is indeed a hold. We'll see if Clinton accepts or declines that. Looks like they have declined it. So make it 3rd down for the Boomers, as it's a 7-yard loss officially. Clinton all over Contavian Hill. Talked about his impact of the pregame should he have played, and he is, and making that early impact.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Clinton. I was like, no matter who's on the field, they're quick.
Yeah.
And again, they know their role. They know what they've got to do to, whether it's on the offense to make a block or on defense to make a stop.
So 3rd and long for the Boomers. Got to get into Clinton territory. Douglas Fisher back to pass. Rolls out to the right side, still looking. Takes a shot over the middle of the field to Jake Graff at the 30. In Clinton territory, caught for the first down. And Graff just slipped his way behind a couple Clinton defenders. They saw it late. Good throw by Douglas Fisher. And a big first down for the Boomers.
Thank you, Jake, for making me look smart. Great job by Jake to kind of just fall back into that zone. That's one thing we've seen him do multiple times, especially over the past few weeks, is to recognize where the hole in the zone is and get in there. And I just want to say that the offensive line did a really good job of allowing Ryan Douglas Fisher to have some time and allow that play to develop.
So it's a 1st and 10 for the Boomers at the 27 in Clinton territory, so a 33-yard game. It's Douglas Fisher in the gun, 2 receivers to the left as well as a tight end, 1 receiver to the right. He rolls to the left side, looking to pass again, has some time. This time floats it towards the sideline to Cash Carter. Pass a bit high and incomplete. Carter was angling towards about the 20, had some space, but Douglas Fisher that time just a touch high.
And I think that may have been what Ryan was trying to do, because it was really close where if he would have thrown that towards Cash's back shoulder, there was a good chance that could have been intercepted. So he did everything he could to make sure that if it was going to be caught, it would only be Cash.
I got you.
Thank you for
trying to block some of that wood for you, buddy.
We're going to get really close tonight because I'm cold.
You're fine. 2nd and 10 for the Boomers. 6:28 remaining in the half. Trailing 13-0. Trying to drive down score. Boomers do get the ball back after a half. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Empty set. 2 receivers each side. Quick pass looking for Littall. Littall wasn't quite ready for it, and it's behind him. Incomplete. Littall looked like he was about to try to break over the middle, and Douglas Fisher wanted it now.
The Boomers got lucky just then. There was a little bit of extracurricular activity, but a Boomer retaliated right in front of the official. And, unfortunately, it's the old adage, the retaliation is what gets you.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Boomers, as Douglas Fisher in the gun, empty set again. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right, as well as a tight end. Douglas Fisher looking for the quick pass. This one almost intercepted as Easton Powell, the freshman, read that clean. Douglas Fisher was looking toward Colt Moore, trying for the quick slant, and that will fall incomplete. And this will be a case where the Boomers likely, I'd imagine, going to try the field goal, because you got the win behind your back.
Got the win, you know if it's a good clean hold and kick, he has the leg to do it.
And that's what they'll do. So for Douglas Fisher, it's going to be a 43-yard field goal attempt with 6:21 left in the half. Boomers trying to get on the board, trailing 13-3. There's a snap, ball down, kick is up, on its way. It's fading towards the left.
Yeah,
I think it just shaved left. It did. Had the distance, but unfortunately shaved left. Field goal no good for the Boomers from 43 yards out. So had the leg, just couldn't quite line it up quite on accuracy. So Clinton will take over. 1st and 10 with 6:15 left in the half. Woodward trying to come up with the stop. As Clinton takes over at their own 20.
Brings up a 1st and 10 for the Red Flames.
It'll be Hernandez leading the team back onto the field. Clinton's been heavy dose of run, of course, no surprise. Aiden Collins, Darren Hester, Contavious Hill, the backs. This time it's Collins, dotting the I, receiver each side of the formation. Man goes to motion, it's Hester across the formation. The pitch out to Collins, running to the right side, and a boomer on him quickly. Collins, though, still getting upfield for about a gain of 5. Looks like Trip Bates may be rolling in there making the tackle. Collins a little slow to get up here.
I think Trip Bates is the first one to make the contact. Trip Bates got in there. Bowen Morton was the one who came in there and forced it. Finish him off, and Bowen's kind of limping.
Yeah, and it was Hester the one slow to get up, so not Collins, but Hester the one slow to get up. He was the blocker on the edge there. They got motioned over. Gets off the field under his own power.
I wonder if maybe Bowen has a little bit of a stinger, or back's tightening up on him a little bit because the way he kind of came down, it came down on his hip, it looked like. So
there were some big collisions there at the spot of the ball in terms of once contact was made.
But he shook off trainer Matt Harrington. He's kind of filling in as our athletic trainer right now. Matt and Aaron at Northwest Physical Therapy do a great job.
That they do, is we do have a timeout. Salem State Bank now with the branch in Woodward at their new location, 2314 Williams Avenue. Salem State Bank Woodward branch offers full-service banking, including personal checking, savings, home and commercial loans, mobile and online banking as well, wire transfers, and much more. Salem State Bank of Woodward, powering Boomer Sports. We're in the Boomer Band roll. Casey Crockett and her crew made the trip. So out of the timeout, Clinton with a 2nd and 6. They call it a 4-yard gain officially. As again, the handoff this time looks like to Hill out of the backfield. Or excuse me, that was Hester who's injured on the play. He breaks a couple tackles, fights forward across about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he picked up some yards, but he took a shot. I couldn't quite tell who finished him off. Brody Providence came all the way over from the sideline. He's running off. Brody's been kind of dealing with a shoulder issue. I'm wondering if he's the one who went in there and delivered the hit that knocked him out of bounds.
And they give him a gain of 4, so 3rd and short for Clinton. 3rd and 2, 5:51 remains in the half. Red Tornadoes lead 13-0, and now got a whistle and a timeout, this time taken by the Boomers, as Coach Gordon and crew will talk about the look they saw there. And M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop for your best lawn, porch, or patio. M&D Enterprises and the Lawnmower Shop are your people. They carry everything you need to make your greenscape that little piece of heaven you have always dreamed of. Locations in Woodward, Canton, and Weatherford. M&D Enterprises is powering Boomer Sports this season.
Ealy, where
on the side.
There he is.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about how the defense has been playing so far?
Well, I mean, how dominant Clinton's always is on the run, so can't really complain right now. They've done a really good job of, sticking those plays Clinton always likes to go to, but just those misdirections when the running back will cut back. I think we need to try do a little better job of staying home.
Well, and that's a good point, because Eric, the one thing that hasn't killed us tonight yet is the Clinton sweep. We talked about that with CJ taking away some of that bread and butter, but Clinton has answered with some good cutbacks, like Haley mentioned, and also they've just been able to get it up the middle at times as well.
Yeah, I think overall the Boomers' game plan they've been executing the way they wanted to execute. It's just the moves that we knew they could make quick cuts and stop on a dime and do different things, and so you just got to be ready for that.
So 3rd and 2 for Clinton, trying to get the first down. As Hernandez gives it to the fullback. It's Collins. He puts it on the ground. Who got it? Looks like Collins maybe fell right back on it.
Yeah, I think he was able to. I think what may have happened was, and I couldn't quite tell who knocked it out. Colin Bourne was close, but as the contact was made, it spun Collins around to the point where his momentum was able to allow him to just fall right back on it.
And they do say gain of 1 officially on the fumble, so 4th and 1 for Clinton. Interesting decision here with 5:20 left in the half. Clinton, see if they go for it. They're in Boomer territory at the 29. Here's kind of a spot where the Boomers got to bow up. Hernandez under center, I formation, one receiver to the right. Hernandez turns, hands off Collins, the fullback. The Boomers trying to stand him up. It looks like they did. The Boomers come up with a pioneer defensive stand and force the turnover on downs and get great field position out of it.
I think Case and Bourne and Trip Bays. I'm trying to figure out who. There was another guy in on that helped make that stop. Peyton Collier. That's a name we haven't called a lot this year. The three of them were in there to make that big stop. Now here's the deal: if I'm the offense, that is Clinton saying your offense can't do anything.
You.
Right. And so if I'm the offense, I come out and I make them pay for it.
Absolutely. As the Boomers take over at the Clinton 30. 5:06 remaining in the half. Boomers trailing 13-0, but with great field position for this drive.
I'm all of a sudden smelling something other than dog food. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Douglas Fisher in the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Latal in the backfield. They'll hand it to him on first down. Trying to make some moves at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't find much of a hole. Trying to fight for it. Does get maybe a yard or two in forward progress, and a late flag. This could be on Clinton as they had drug Latal into the backfield in the pile. So this might be a big break for the Boomers here on the first play of the drive. It's initially going to be a game about 1, maybe 2. See what the flag is. And it is a personal foul on Clinton. So Clinton getting a little agitated, maybe.
Yeah, so here's what we've talked about, the Boomer offense. Now there's essentially 2 opportunities for them to take advantage of something. They've got to figure out a way to capitalize here.
So now Boomers have it 1st and 10 at the Clinton 15 with 4:55 remaining in the half. Trying to get on the scoreboard as they trail 13-0. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to the right as well as the tight end. Latal flanking right side, single man, short side to the left. Douglas Fisher with the snap, rolls to the right side, looking to pass, plants his feet, now just turns and throws it back towards the left side. Nobody there, so throwing it out of bounds. Shouldn't be a grounding because he'd be out of the tackle box, and it was well past the line of scrimmage. Let's make it 2nd and 10. They're talking about it, but I don't think that would qualify as intentional grounding because he was out of that tackle box.
Yeah, I'm not so sure there was a miscommunication because he looked pretty confident.
Oh, they do throw it. Wow.
He was close to where the tackle was supposed to be, so that's the downside.
Thought he'd roll past it, but we're going to throw the flag down.
But I'm not so sure that was necessarily an intentional grounding. I think that was a miscommunication. They're going to call it.
Yep, they are going to call it intentional grounding. It's tough there for the Boomers. So that'll back you up 10. You go from the 15 now to the 25. So you get the 15-yard penalty from Clinton. Now you lose 10 on the intentional grounding. So call it 2nd and 20 for the Boomers. With 4:39 remaining in the first half, Woodward still trails 13-0. Chance in Clinton territory though. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Tight end also on the right side. Latal flanking on the right side. Play clock, still plenty of time, 15 as the Boomers get the call from the sideline. They flip the tight end and running back now, both lining up on the left side. As Douglas Fisher takes the snap, the handoff to Latal up the gut, finds a bit of space, cuts to the 20, the 15, and chopped down at the 14. Nice run for Latal though, good little hole. The Boomers opened up, and Latal gets back all the penalty yards, plus maybe a yard or 2 more.
And good job of the Boomers to keep the ball in the middle of the field too. We know that, if we do have to kick the field goal, give Ryan the best opportunity he can to make the field goal.
No question about it. Now he got an official's timeout. Not sure what the discussion is here. But a good job by Latal, again, to make the nice game. So now a gain of 12. Be the Boomers' longest run of the night. Not sure what the official's discussion is here. We've got 4:23 remaining in the first half.
It didn't seem like anything weird happened on the play.
Yeah, didn't see any flag or anything come in. Now they're talking to the white hat, so not sure. Well, Smith & Co. Auction and Realty, Oklahoma's real estate and land auction expert. Smith & Co. is your #1 choice for all your land auctions and real estate needs. Call them 580-254-3975 or email ira@smithcorealestate.com. Smith & Co. powering Boomer Sports.
I think the Boomer coaching staff was trying to get more time put on the clock. It didn't look like the clock stopped initially on the time. And now Clinton's.
So that may have been the discussion. Ely, are you hearing anything down there about that, or you're in range to hear any of that?
Nah, the only thing I hear is you guys right now.
All right. He's down there by the end zone right now.
He's over here trying to listen to the band, this guy.
Putting himself in great position to see it.
He wants to see the touchdown play. That's why he's down there. He wants to see that touchdown play.
Looks like here's what he's manifesting the touchdown.
I like it.
If he's down there, he sees it go across the line.
Yep.
So he's going to manifest us scoring a touchdown.
And the officials have now taken an extended timeout to talk with Coach Higbee, Clinton, because I think you're right. I think Coach Gordon was trying to point out, hey, clock should have stopped, and maybe it didn't. So looking at some of the scores in 4A1 right now, Elgin leads Weatherford 21-7 in the second quarter. Bridge Creek is currently on top of Cache 16-13 in the first. And our other district game should be, where'd it go? Should be Douglas, yes. Elk City leads Douglas 29-0 in the second quarter. So no surprises there, Eric? You hear anything surprising maybe?
Yeah, I think the one that I feel like we should be paying attention to really is the Cache Bridge Creek game. Just to kind of, because we've seen both of those teams and we have something to compare to. Obviously, you don't want to. It's hard to compare because of the way that the Boomers played against Douglas at times last week.
And here's a big score in Texas County right now. Hooker leads Fairview 12-7 in the second quarter. Fairview with a 36-game win streak on the line. Hooker trying to beat them for the first time for that senior group. They're 0-4 against Fairview.
I told you it may be a closer game than you think.
Woo-hoo. So Clinton is charged a timeout at the end of all this. As for the Boomers, it's going to be 3rd and 8 after the 12-yard run by Cooper Lataw. 4:22 remains in the half. Boomers trail 13-0, but trying to get the score on the board. As Douglas Fisher in the gun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lataw in the backfield. Clinton faking suppression. Lataw looking to pass quick, going towards the end zone, and that incomplete. Bit of a battle with the hands. Graff was trying to get around the defender, but could not come up with it. Boomers were wanting to flag, didn't get it because it looked like, couldn't tell which defender that was, may have turned his head kind of at the last moment. And Graff initiated some of that contact, so you're not going to get that if you initiate some of that contact.
Yeah, now's an opportunity. Like we said, Boomers earlier trying to keep the ball in the middle of the field just to give us that opportunity where if we weren't able to convert on the touchdown, he had more of a straight-on shot.
So now it'll be Ryan Douglas Fisher for about an 18-yard field or a 28-yard field goal. Excuse me. That one does go through the uprights, and the Boomers are on the board with 3 points. So the 28-yard field goal good from Douglas Fisher. Look at our Just Wells Chevrolet scoreboard reads Clinton on top of the Boomers 13-3 with 4:14 remaining in the half. Just Wells Chevrolet in Shattuck. So where honesty is not just a word, it's how they drive every deal. Visit justwellschevrolet.com or call it 580-938-2122. And now the defense is going to try to come up with another stop if you can. We've seen them be, for the most part, successful. Force that punt last time out. Gave up, back-to-back scoring drives is kind of tough, as you mentioned, short field after the impromptu offside. So for the most part, Eric, I think they've done what you've asked of them so far.
Yeah, the defense has done everything you need them to do. The offense, we weren't able to get into the end zone that last possession, but you were still able to get some points on the board. It's only a 2-possession game right now. Defense just go out there and do your job. I think, you have shown and you're forced Clinton to do some things that they didn't want to do.
Right.
You're kind of taking away their bread and butter. Even the 2 touchdowns they've had
have not come off the sweep.
Right, it's not come off what they normally like to do. So, you kind of kept to the game plan and done your job. So let's just keep the momentum going on the defensive side of the ball.
So it'll be Douglas Fisher on to kick it off for the Boomers. Went behind him, should have a good chance at a deep kick. So jog to it, puts the boot to leather. That one carrying. It's going to be fielded by Romanos as found 5-yard line left side of the field. Cuts up to the 25-30, now races ahead, and he's got nothing but green grass in front of him. Has one man to beat, trying to get Douglas Fisher, and Douglas Fisher able to almost make the tackle, spins out of it. Finally, the Boomers drag him down. He had a cavalcade of blockers. Credit to Ryan Douglas Fisher for saving a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the Boomers kind of struggle when they go downfield on the kickoffs. They spread out a little too much, which allows the holes to open up instead of just trying to do everything they can to attack where the ball is going to go. Ryan, to his credit there, he didn't go in for the tackle initially. He kind of ran with him downfield and waited until he had an opportunity just to make the stop.
So that says Clinton up in Boomer territory at the 12-yard line to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Hernandez under center, I formation, 2 receivers left side. He'll hand off to Collins up the middle, dragging a couple Boomers to about the 10, maybe the 5. It looks like probably the 5, skated across. He's just so quick at the point of taking that handoff. Does get, they call him the 6, so gain of 6 on 1st down for Zayden Collins. So that'll be 2nd and about, should be 2nd and 5. They gave him a little less than I thought. So Hernandez under center again. 2 receivers left, I formation. Hernandez, another handoff, this time to Hester, who bowls his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And Aaron Hester, just nothing pretty about it, but up the gut, gets the score.
Yeah, we talked about what the defense needed to do, and unfortunately you can't really put that on the defense. That was, really that poor coverage on the special teams, and it forced them to kind of be back on their heels a little bit. And it's just hard to kind of recover from a big return like that.
So a quick 2-play drive for Clinton that goes all of 38 seconds. And they extend their lead now, 19-3, looking for the extra point from De La Fuente. And that one is good. Makes it 20-3 in favor of the Red Tornado. Well, now the offense with their chance to try to go answer.
All right, Ely. If you've, as a player, as an offensive player in this type of situation, what's your mindset
solve
going to be?
this equation? Ooh, me. Anyone else?
Not to be down 3 possessions going into half.
Jake,
I mean,
from State Farm.
obviously the coverage team didn't do its job, and then the defense,
it's the
wasn't
personal
on the field long
price
enough to
plan
really
theorem.
try to stand much of an
If
effort.
you
So
bundle
you
your
got to kind of make up
home
for that as an offense.
and auto,
the plays you don't want to see.
That can equal an affordable price.
Let the offense do something
just for you. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor.
There's nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat. It's fall football and summer baseball. And there's one bank that really understands.
A couple of matchups of top 3 teams in Class A and Class B, both Division I in those.
Still sounds weird.
I know, having to split classes, yeah. As De La Fuente on the kick. This one a high kick. Boomers have to watch out. And nice job to race up and pick it was Jake Graff. Just ran under it like an outfielder and dove for it.
Yeah, again, Clinton did it. I think that's a great call. You get it up in the air. Again, we talked about the wind and how
that one was intentional.
Right, and how the wind is affecting the ball. They just got it up in the air, let the wind do the job, and great job by Jake to recognize that, to go in there and at least try to make a play on the ball, even if you can't, even if he wasn't able to make a play.
You got to take.
You got to take a chance.
Because that was a pretty good kick by De La Fuente to high point that, essentially, like you're saying, way up in the wind. So Boomers take over at their own 43 with 3:19 remaining in the first half, trailing 20-3. It's Douglas Fisher in the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Flanking right side is Latal, the running back. And Douglas Fisher taking that snap will be handoff to Latal, trying to bounce to the outside, get some yardage to the 45, up to about the 47, maybe 48, before he's slung out of bounds. Solid run on 1st down for the Boomers.
There's plenty of time. You're not really racing against the clock here. You're not trying to, get as many points as you can real quick. You just continue just trying to move the ball, and get at least some points going into halftime.
They'll call a gain of 5 to the 48. 2nd and 5 for the Boomers. 2:45 remains in the half. It's Douglas Fisher again in the gun. Tight end and receiver on the left side. 2 receivers to the right. Latal flanking left side. Douglas Fisher with the snap, fakes the handoff, quick out to Colt Moore on the short side, makes man miss to the 40, 35, 30, foot race. He turns on the Jets to the 10 and finally taken out of bounds. And that's what you want to see from the young sophomore, using that speed on the edge. Big game for the Boomers on the one-on-one matchup.
That's the thing that, we talk about the shiftiness that Colt has. He's also got a second gear. We saw it just there. Once he made that initial move and realized he had some open field, he turned it on, and I thought he might actually outrun him there.
So all the way down to the 8-yard line in Clinton territory, and got out of bounds, so saving time on the clock as well. So called a 45-yard pass and catch. As will be Douglas Fisher in the pistol, in the gun, 2 receivers to the right as well as the tight end, and Latal flanking. 1 man to the left side is Moore. High snap goes over Douglas Fisher's head, and they fall on it to the Boomers as Latal got back in there on the 20. And Eric, it's just been that type of way sometimes with this offense where you get a big gain and then a negative happens.
Yeah, this is where people are. I'm sorry, everybody at home, it's going to get annoying, but you got to learn to capitalize whenever you get these opportunities.
So called a loss of 11 as the Boomers now backed up to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 20. As the clock goes to a minute 45. Good job by Latal to at least get back and fall on that. Douglas Fisher was trying as well. He'll be in the gun again. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left, as well as the tight end, and Latal flanking in the backfield. Douglas Fisher claps, now looks back to the sideline. This time, snap on target. They hand it off to Latal. Not much there, though. Clinton all over the inside run. And he'll be tackled down at the 20, so it brings up 3rd and goal from the 20.
I think with...
Oh, and a late flag. Some chippiness, and we'll see who this is on. This could either really hurt the Boomers or it could really help them.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. Didn't see what happened there.
Yeah, some late words. I think is what happened. We'll see.
Boomers are pointing.
Boomers
Clinton's
are saying
way.
it's on Clinton. We'll see. If it is on Clinton, that's big for Woodward. That'd be a first down automatically as well. And it is unsportsmanlike on Clinton. And an unsportsmanlike on Woodward. So offsetting. Okay. Usually that's kind of what happens with those. We've seen that. Don't usually get where it's one the other way.
Now my question is, does the clock start? I'm assuming it's going to start on the official.
It should, yeah, because it was a dead ball foul. It should start on the official signal. Minute 18 remains in the half. Woodward trailing 20-3. They do get the ball back to start the second half.
And I think that's kind of what Coach Gordon is doing here. Is he's going to try to play the field goal game a little bit, let the clock run down, take as much time out of their hands if they have, to end the half. Take for less chance for them to add to the score.
Yes.
In the half, we do get the ball coming out in the second half. He's playing the clock game.
Field goal would keep you within 2 touchdowns as well.
Strategery.
That's Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers in tight to the right, 1 to the left. Douglas Fisher rolling to that right side, looking to pass. Plants his feet, takes a shot towards the end zone. That one, a miscommunication. Nobody in the air except the Clinton defender was maybe looking the way of Jake Graff, and Graff wasn't quite in that area.
I think that was actually an intentional throwaway. He kind of put that really in a spot that where Jake was, but he knew he couldn't throw it to Jake coming across, so he put it where he was. Because he looked at Jake before he made the throw.
Right.
So that's why I think that was actually an intentional throwaway.
So a 35-yard field goal attempt now for the Boomers. Quickly snapped up in the air for Douglas Fisher. That one clean and good. So Ryan Douglas Fisher with 2 made field goals in this first half. One from 28, now from 35. And the Boomers chip into the Clinton lead, making it 20-6 with 1:08 remaining on the Just Wells Chevrolet scoreboard in this first half. So Eric, you saw some good things on that drive from the offense. Ultimately, though, that one bad snap really hurts you at the end.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the MO lately. The Boomers, the Boomer offense has got to figure out a way to put a full drive together.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about looking further into the game and what we need to do to, strategery. Let's figure out a way just to have a clean drive at this point.
And you're getting close. We're seeing it improve week by week, but it's just you're still seeing those little machinations of, okay, making some of those discipline mistakes.
You got to get that out of your head.
Right.
I think that's the thing.
You got to flush it, yeah.
I think they're still kind of in this mode of, well, something's going to happen at some point.
Right.
You know, and you know, people kind of say, oh, that's not the way you think. But trust me, that's the way the players think.
These are kids still, right? These are teenagers. We know how teenagers' minds can be.
You know, and I think that's, you know, one thing the Boomers, you know, again, and I think a lot of, you know, I talked about the win, even though you got to look at the mistakes you made against Douglas. You didn't play very well, but let's also look at the fact that you won. You picked up a district win. You haven't done that, you know, I don't know how many years, I can't remember how many it was, you know, last time you picked up a district win. You know, you got that off your back now. You know, now you've got to clean up the mistakes and go out there and make a difference every game.
As Douglas Fisher setting up to kick off for the Boomers, back team to return. Looks to be, that time it was Martin. And the Boomers go with the squib kick pointed right at Race Elliott, who falls on it at the 35. Probably not the worst decision.
Can you give J.J. Ruiz the tackle on the play because he's the one who kind of laid on top of it?
Sure, give it to him. Why not?
Yeah. Lay down. Make sure make sure that ball can't pop out.
Right. Why not, right?
But hey, like you said, that's not a bad decision because you're taking away, you know, that opportunity for the coverage team to not make a play. You know, now the defense, which has shown that they can play well, you know, let them go out and make the play.
Hernandez in the I formation, two receivers to the right side as man motions. They pitch it to Hester on the first play of the drive. He races across the hole, gets to about the 42 before he's hit and eventually taken down by the Boomers. Was a solid gain on first, though, gain about 7.
I think that was Mason who came in there and made a big hit, but Collins was able to kind of bounce off of Mason's hit. And we would say Mason Arnold, not Mason Boring, but Mason Arnold was able to come in there and, you know, make that hit. To Collins' credit, he made a little bit of a spin, was able to pick up a couple more yards.
It was Hester. They gave Hester 8 on that pitch.
Oh, Hester.
They rotate him in. I mean, it's either going to be Hester Hill or Collins.
Then there's not much of a size. There's really not much of a size difference between
Collins about the same height, maybe a little more filled out. Hill's kind of an in-between of Hester and Collins. So, right there. And Clinton does burn a timeout with 55 seconds remaining in the half. Trying to play for another score, knowing the Boomers will get the ball back. Let's see if the Boomers can bow up. You know, at this point, though, you definitely got to be careful your Woodward for that play action. We've seen Clinton use that a couple times this half to good effect.
Yeah, and they've done, you know, play action or maybe even at this point. I'm Clinton throwing that keeper again. Yeah. You know, the Boomers have done a pretty good job of getting penetration. Throwing that keeper and, you know, pick up another first down.
This time Hernandez in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. And the backfield flanking left side. They put a man in motion. It is Romanos. Fakes the sweep. Pitches it to Hester on the right side. They'll catch it. Get to the 50 into Boomer territory. About the 49-yard line. So a first down gain.
They did stay in bounds.
Now Clinton trying to go a bit quick. As they'll call it a gain of 8 again. This time Hester on the catch and run. Clinton line up quick under center will be Hernandez, single man in the backfield, 2 receivers each side. Back to pass quick is Hernandez, looking again towards the sideline, this time caught. Who else? Hester bringing another one in. Quick gain up to the 44-yard line, maybe the 45. They give him the 44, so gain of 5 as the clock ticks down to 33 seconds.
Hester impresses me, you know, just because of, you know, he just does the little things right. Whenever he's carrying the ball, he takes shots and, you know, is able to pick up a few more yards here and there. So
only 5'8", 155, listed as a junior. As under center goes to Hernandez again. Receiver each side, 2nd and 5 for Clinton. Man in the backfield, it's Collins. No, excuse me, it's Powell. This time Powell, though, gets dropped by Levi Harris at the 50-yard line. They went with Powell for maybe the better throw, and Harris just blew it up from the backside.
And see, and those are the little things I was talking about. If Powell comes in there, is doing things just to kind of get in his head a little bit. You know, he didn't even look to see Levi coming around the corner. And here it is again.
And then Powell trying to throw quick. That's incomplete. So Boomers makes it 4th and 11 with 8 seconds to go in the half. So the Boomers do force 4th down as Powell try to get the quick pass, just the freshman. Ball is at the 50-yard line. We'll see how Clinton has to play this because they do have to snap it. So do you give Woodward a chance to return a kick? or do you try to take a deep shot to the end zone? Probably going to take a deep shot.
I think you take a deep shot because, the Boomer defense is, or the Boomer offense, is going to have trouble, with a few seconds left. Might as well take a shot.
It'll be Powell under center, so sticking with the freshman. 2 receivers right side, kind of an odd stacked I formation. Powell, they'll toss it to Hester. They go with the sweep. Hester cuts it upfield, gets across the 44, and taken out of bounds. Didn't get the first, and the clock stops with 1 second. So it's a turnover on downs, and the Boomers will have one heave here before the half after the 6-yard run.
Great job, though, by the Boomers overall, the defensive side there, to make a statement. You're not
Pioneer defensive stand.
Yes, I was waiting for you to just take it. But they did a great job of getting that stop, because now it does look like they are in the Clinton offense's head, and
forcing the quarterback change a little bit, maybe.
Right, and you're going into halftime, and essentially the Boomers do have the momentum going into halftime.
So it'll be Douglas Fisher in the gun, trips to the right side, one to the left. Clinton defense trying to back up a bit deeper, knowing this will be a shot. Douglas Fisher loads up, takes it down to Colt Moore, triple covered that well out of bounds, and that's how we end the first half. The Red Tornadoes take the lead over the Boomers into the half, 20-6 here at the Tornado Bowl. We'll step aside for a break, come back with the halftime show. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Feel safe and secure with Arlo Wireless Outdoor Camera, available at Pioneer. Arlo offers top-notch protection with crystal clear video quality, rain or shine. Monitor your home from anywhere
solve
with
this
remote
equation?
smartphone access.
Me.
Whether you're at home
Anyone else?
or on the go.
Fine.
Arlo
Jake
keeps you
from
connected
State Farm.
when it matters most. Trust Arlo and Pioneer
It's the
to keep
personal
your
price
home
plan
safe and
theorem.
secure.
If you
Visit
bundle your home,
GoPioneer.com to get your Arlo wireless cameras today.
At Bank of Western Oklahoma, we've been a cornerstone of the community since 1908. Being locally owned and operated, we understand the values and the culture that define Western Oklahoma. From supporting local farmers to helping small businesses thrive, we take pride in offering personalized banking solutions that reflect our deep understanding of Western Oklahoma. Discover the difference of a bank that's been by your side for generations. Bank of Western Oklahoma, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire, at 2220 Main in Woodward.
And welcome back to Boomer Football Z92 Boomer TV, as we'll take a look at the halftime stats. Woodward trails Clinton 20-6 at the break, and the Boomers, as far as their scoring goes, able to knock in a couple field goals. It was Ryan Douglas Fisher from initially 28 yards out with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and then the Boomers there with about 3 minutes left in the second quarter, able to knock in another one, this time 35 yards out by Ryan Douglas Fisher. For Clinton, took the early lead, I guess you could say, after a scoreless first quarter. Were able to score early second quarter, essentially the first play of the second quarter, 8-yard touchdown run by Darren Hester. That put them up 6-0 after the 7-play, 71-yard drive, missed extra point there. Clinton would get a fortuitous, unintentional onside kick immediately after that, set up a short field at the Woodward 26. Boomers tried to string it out 8 plays, but Clinton ultimately punched it in, 3-yard touchdown run, a 6-yard touchdown run by Zayden Collins to cap that one off. Extra point was good, 13-0 there. And then Woodward did miss a 43-yard field goal about midway through that second quarter. Clinton also added to their total in the 4 minutes ago in the second quarter. It was it was a long kick return. That's what I was trying to say, by Hester. Set him up at the Boomer 12. Clinton 2 plays, punched it in. Hester did the honors, 6 yards out. That was 20-3 at that point, as I mentioned. The other field goal by the Boomers to make it 20-6 at the half. But guys, overall, I mean, if you're Woodward, yes, you've given up a couple things, right? The special teams play where they were able to get a long kick return, nearly a touchdown, and then you also gave up a possession on that kind of awkward, unintentional onside, if you will. But otherwise, Eric, we talked about it, Woodward has tried to make Clinton a little uncomfortable in that first.
And the Boomers, this is one of those things where I felt like the defense needed to come out and play a perfect game, kind of make a statement, kind of what they are, and I think they've done that tonight so far.
And Ely, you've been on the field. How tenacious has that Woodward defense been trying to shut down this Clinton attack?
Well, I mean, it's Clinton's only got 20 points, and they've done a really good job of stopping Clinton's bread and butter. I mean, they're very relentless on whether you stop it or not. They're going to keep coming at you, and Woodward's done a great job on defense.
And offensively, guys, some chances for Woodward. We talked about a couple field goals knocked in, one missed. Eric, really the only big issue was that last drive, right, where you get all the way to the inside the 10, you had the bad snap, it backs you up, and you have to settle for a field goal there. Otherwise, the Boomers have done some good things offensively, but still trying to finish and capitalize on some opportunities.
Yeah, really, that's where I feel like the Boomers are at on the offensive side is like you said, finishing the drive. Is not making those little mistakes. I feel like overall, the offense has done some good things tonight, some things we want to see out of the offense. They're getting more consistency, I feel like, moving the ball than we've had in the past few games. But still, you got to cut down on, little things here and there that are going to cause you to go backwards instead of forwards.
And guys, I'll end on this positive note for the offense here. We talk about this being kind of another milestone game similar to what Elgin was, right, where you can see where you really are. You had no points against Elgin. You barely got on their side of the field. Tonight, you've been in Clinton territory. You've scored. So that's an improvement in of itself, knowing that Clinton was the other team kind of picked to maybe win this district. So that is that improvement we've talked about. So that look at your first half stats and your first half recap brought to you by High Plains Tire. Visit High Plains Tire at 2220 Main Street in Woodward is where your dollar goes further. High Plains Tire, powering Boomer Sports this season and have for a long time. Cannot thank them enough. With that said, we'll step aside for our halftime break. Woodward trailing the Red Tornadoes in the Tornado Bowl 20-6. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Every family has a story filled with chapters of love, laughter, and dreams for the future. But what if one day you're not there to help write the next chapter? Life is unpredictable, but your love for your family shouldn't be. With State Farm Life Insurance, Gwaine Matthews and Woodward can help ensure your story continues, even when you're not there to turn the page. Protect the chapters yet to come. Talk to Gwaine Matthews because your story deserves to be told.
And back at the half, we'll take a look at some of these scores now. We were already talking about some of those other district games going on. And it looks like Elk City all over Douglas at the half, 36-0 currently there. Elk City with the lead. Bridge Creek Cache, kind of a game of bigger interest within the district for us because obviously Bridge Creek, the homecoming opponent next week for the Boomers. Bridge Creek does lead Cache 22-13 at the break. And in the Elgin-Weatherford game, that one kind of a battle for the top of the district right now tonight. Elgin on top 35-7 at the half. The Owls kind of flexing that muscle, Eric. Not surprised to see that one.
Yeah, I still think back to about that Elgin game and how impressive Elgin was.
Just a machine.
Yeah, Coach Gordon called it. I can't remember if he said it on the show or if he said it off the air.
He said on the show that hey, we just saw the 4A state champs.
Yeah, they are legitimate, and unfortunately, being they have knocked us off, but now they're a district team, so I'm pulling for them to make that. So it makes us, have. I always feel like if it's one of your opponents and they go in there and win, it
makes
just
you
makes
look
you
better. Yeah,
makes you look a little bit better. makes you show that, hey, that loss wasn't necessarily in vain because
and to
we
be
lost
fair,
to somebody really, really good.
They've been blowing everybody out, and Weatherford's fallen victim to that tonight too. It's a good little mini SEC clash between Tony Ogamoru, the left tackle for Elgin, committed to Tennessee, and of course C.J. Nixon, the star defensive end for Weatherford, committed to Oklahoma. Looks like Ogamoru winning that battle right now. Looking at some of the bigger schools before we go to you with the smaller school slate. Bixby all over Enid at the half, 42-7. Looking at Class 3A, Chisholm was matching up with Jones. That's a big one tonight. It looks like, if I can find it. Well, I thought I had it pulled up. Hold on.
Well, I just went off of 2A. I can say in 2A2, Alva is up right now on Luther, which is a matchup of 2 ranked teams in Alva.
Yes.
It's 12-7, I believe, is what it was.
Okay. And is Alva on top of that one?
Yes.
Okay. So Alva trying to bounce back after having to deal with that very tough Stroud team. So what we got in some of the other classes, Eric? What are you looking at?
Let's look at the big game right now in Class A1. Fairview at Hooker. It is 20-7 Hooker.
Oh, third quarter.
Third quarter, 20-7 Hooker.
That is a 36-game win streak on the line for Fairview. Back-to-back state champs, and Hooker fell victim to them last year in the state title game, and quite honestly, lost to them pretty good early in the season there too. So Bulldogs, man, that senior group has been pining to try to beat Fairview in one of these matchups. 0-4 against them so far in their careers. That's a big one.
Here's another, to me, kind of a surprising Classic Bowl school. Sayre at Watauga. It's only 14-13. Watauga looking for their first win.
That'd be a big upset.
This season, and then Sayre's played well this season, so that would be a big upset. I think I know that Watauga is going to be moving in the right direction with the coaching staff they brought in. So
got Matt Walters in, former Northwestern Oklahoma State coach.
And Hinton at Merritt, 25-0 Hinton.
Cashin leading Crescent 33-13 at the half. Cashin trying to bounce back after a tough loss to that Hooker squad last week.
I think that's all Classic Bowl teams are
Class A
playing.
Shouldn't have any A2. Oh well, A2 you are going to have Thomas Fayecuster Texoma matching up. That's a big one. Thomas up 13-6 over Texoma. Texoma put 81 on Cordell last week. So Thomas leading that in the third quarter. We'll see Moreland what they're doing. They'd be A2. Not seeing that one available. Oh, there they are, playing against Carnegie. Kind of a surprise here. Moreland winning that one, but it's only 14-6 at the half against the Carnegie squad that's big young trying to build. So
yeah, we talked about though that the injuries seem to be kind of catching up with Moreland, unfortunately. So B1, B Division 1, not B District 1.
Right.
I got to remember we got to make that
distinction.
Laverne Turpin, we've kind of given that update tonight. Laverne 20 over Turpin 12. That's a 1-2 matchup.
Yeah.
Out at Turpin, big game out there. So there were a couple big games out in the Panhandle.
There was tonight for sure. It's rocking, and Turpin. That's another group again, similar to Hooker, trying to pine for a win over Laverne. Have been over with that senior class. Jeff Huffman, Carson Pierce, a really good 1-2 combo against Laverne's weapons and Felix Teal, White Tillery, Trix Carnegie thrown in there, Zach Masters, and so far Turpin trying to hang in there. Garber was all over Pine Creek Hunter earlier today, 40-6. They get that win. Looks like that's all for B1. Pioneer Pleasantville did beat Oklahoma Bible Academy earlier today as well, 56-8. On to B2 earlier today. Sealing shut out Shattuck, 50-0. That one was played at noon. Sealing continues to roll. What else we got here in B2? Wacomas earlier today defeated Coyle 42-6. It was Covington Douglas over Cherokee 50-30 as well earlier today. Canton will play O'Keene tomorrow night. That's one of the few Friday games in the state tomorrow night. And Boise City, they cruise right now over Ringwood 48-0 in the second quarter.
Class C, Buffalo is up 22-0 at Beaver. Balco, Forgan, and Tyrone. That's a big match. It's kind of a rivalry matchup. Tyrone's got the advantage right now at halftime, 28-20. Timberlake, unfortunately, not really a surprise here. They are just handing it to Winoka tonight, 48-6. Medford's kind of on that edge of the area, but they rolled over Watts 48-0. And Gary looks like Gary knocked off Ray Doyle 15-0.
That might be a forfeit win essentially in district, because I think Ray Doyle might have had to give up that week due to some player issues. We've seen, unfortunately, a few of the teams in the 8-man classes have to do that this year. Always hate to see that, but it does happen sometimes. So
yeah, and it's tomorrow, the Kremlin-Hillsdale Sharon Mutual game.
Correct.
Well,
yes.
Kremlin-Hillsdale though
will be so it's not going to get played because
right.
Kremlin's never one of those teams that had to pause their season, unfortunately, as well. So, but for coverage of especially that Laverne Turpin game and that
Hooker Fairview
Hooker Fairview game over on K101, CJ Montgomery, the Quick Scores crew going through that as they're taking you around Northwest Oklahoma tonight. Kansas and Texas, they'll be playing tomorrow. They don't do kind of the fall break Thursday slate of games. So we'll have those scores for you probably Monday on the K101 Morning Show. And, of course, Saturday morning we'll always update those with Fifth Quarter Plus. You'll hear those as well then. So, Eric, got a few minutes before we get the teams back out here. Just had the Clinton Band perform. And before we get to those keys to the second half, I mean, really, if you're in the locker room right now, you're preaching much of change if you're Coach Gordon. I don't think you are, right? The message is just, hey, guys, stay the course, and let's continue to try to take advantage of some of those opportunities, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even on the offensive side where we talked about, they need to capitalize on the opportunities they get, crack down on the mistakes. You're still, you feel like the game plan is there. It's just being able to execute it. And like I said, on the defensive side, it feels like the Boomer coaching staff, really kind of has a great game plan. Because I look at the fact that they have 3 scores, and I want to take away that third one off of the defense.
Well, and the other one even off the kind of the awkward onside, wasn't onside. I mean, you've dealt with 2 short fields.
Right.
For the defense.
But overall, I feel like the defense has done a great job of, especially taking that sweep away from them. And honestly, the first 2 scores, that was just more of a Clinton did a good job as opposed to a defensive breakdown.
Right.
And so I feel like you just go in there and you just say, hey, guys, we just got to come out and continue doing what we're doing. There's no reason for the Boomers to have their heads down tonight.
So far with a solid effort. Of course, as we said earlier, homecoming next week. That'll be against Bridge Creek Friday nights at Boomer Stadium. We'll also have Fall Days out at the Woodward Event Center, so come check that out. That'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days of food, folks, and fun, as we like to say with K101. So that'll be going on. And on Sunday, the Hall of Fame banquet as well going on for Woodward. So that'll be good. You better have got your tickets because I think we are past that deadline for the banquet.
Yep, past the ticket deadline, but I think it's gonna be a great time to honor some former athletes, teams, educators. James Photographics as a contributor. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun time having that 94 team back. A lot of them are coming back to town. They're going to be honored as well as the 77 women's basketball team. There's several.
Yeah. So as far as the players go, the inductees, you got Chad Mead, Joe Armstrong, that from football, girls basketball, Steve Hildebrand, baseball, Dale Pierce, Randy Nelson, Kenry Leonard, all track and field. Mentioned the 77 girls basketball team, the 94 football team, Linda Harris, Steve Foster, Cheryl Lucas, all as educators, and of course you mentioned James Photographics as the contributor to the full induction lineup there for the Hall of Fame banquet.
Yeah, I'm excited. We talk about Linda Harrison. She was a long-time English teacher here in town. Honestly, she's one of those teachers that made an impact on me. One of those teachers I'll always remember. So I'm excited to see her be recognized and honored. And I was also thinking about this. There's multiple, especially girls basketball players that have been inducted already or going to be inducted that are going in multiple times as their teams are going in as well. So that's kind of cool, I think, for some of the former Boomers.
Absolutely. So will be a good time, good weekend all around. Just honoring some history there and some heritage, and hopefully the Boomers can also come away with a win against Bridge Creek Friday night. So it looks like a team that, as we've kind of want to see how they compared against Cash, or getting it done right now on the road. They did beat Douglas earlier in the season, 48-6. So the Bobcats have taken advantage of some of those opportunities, at least so far this season. And both teams now starting to come back out of the locker room. Boomers.
So what?
Second, I say both teams. Really, Clinton had about 4 players come out of the locker room.
There's one thing I've noticed about high school football is the halftime clock means nothing. Like almost every time you're coming out there, like basketball, as soon as that buzzer rings, goes off at 1 minute, you better be on the bench because they're gonna inbound. The officials are ready to go. In football, you walk out, we'll add 2 or 3 more minutes to the clock and let you get warmed up.
Got to get you restretched. So as we look towards that second half a bit more, guys, what are your big keys in the second half for the Boomers to try to pull off this comeback and take the win here tonight?
Something I would say for the Boomers is on the offensive side. It's kind of been a common theme throughout the year. We have that big explosive play on offense, and then we had those penalties bite us, or like a missed snap bite us,
bad snap.
Kind of kill us there. And then another thing, Ryan Douglas Fishers had some throws that have kind of went to nowhere.
Yeah.
We have those plays that are kind of get busted up that I would just say try to limit that, maybe get some quicker reads. I don't know. I mean, just stop the plays that end up going nowhere.
And, for the most part, they've tried to give him some of those quicker reads there. But, to that point, we've seen Ryan Douglas Fisher take a maturation, as a quarterback from last year. This year now it's trying to take that next step in his own self, too, as a quarterback. And it's a work in progress.
Yeah, and I also want to give credit. I think the offensive line has done a much better job
they've done
tonight
a fantastic job
than they had. We saw signs of it against Cash. At Cash, we've seen some signs of it. We saw some signs of it against Douglas, even though there was holdings and different things like that happened. But I feel like tonight overall the offensive line has done a pretty good job against a good. Hey, looky there, Lucky.
Ely got a hoodie. He's not going to freeze now.
But I feel like they have done a good job against a good Clinton defensive front.
And here's the stat to that: 0 sacks tonight allowed.
Yeah.
The only time Ryan Douglas Fisher has been tackled in the backfield on a potential play was either a run where he tried to string it out or that bad snap.
Yeah, and honestly, there's not. Oh, look, it's even a Rangers hoodie.
Oh, look at him!
Little small though.
Represent.
But it doesn't feel like. Yeah, there's been plays where he's been hurried, but not nearly to the extent we've seen in other games this year.
Absolutely. And do want to mention, of course, the college slate for this weekend after we're done tonight. Over on K101 tomorrow night, Oklahoma State, they go on the road for a late test against BYU, against Provo, or in Provo, I should say. 9:15 kickoff local time there. So make sure you get your nap tomorrow day, and you can tune into the Cowboys on K101 pregame coverage starting at 7 p.m.
I forgot college football season is still going on.
Said like a true Cowboy fan. As far as the Sooners go, they'll be here on Z92 Saturday morning, 11:45 kickoff against South Carolina, 8:30 pregame on Z92. As far as Northwestern,
I want to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
It cracks me up how all the Sooner fans threw such a big fit about having to play early. We're going to the SEC. We don't have to play early. Boom. Early kickoff.
It's like one of the first 2 we've had, so we'll live with 1 or 2. It was every game that was the issue, and this is 11:45, not 11. Northwestern, they'll be at East Central. They'll go to Ada on Saturday.
Good opportunity for them to go down. East Central playing better than they have traditionally, but I think still a great opportunity for Northwestern to go down there.
That one will kick off at 3 o'clock as far as Southwestern goes, as I slowly pull up the schedule. They will be on the road in Shawnee against Oklahoma Baptist. That one kicking off a little later at 6 o'clock. Probably good opportunity also for Southwestern as well. OBU trying to rebuild a little bit. So
today my dentist is in Weatherford. I go in there for a cleaning, and the dental hygienist comes in there, and she's like, "Oh, you're from Woodward?" Playing that, doing the whole dental hygienist thing. And I said, "Yeah." I was like, I like Weatherford for the most part, except for Southwestern. And she goes, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I went to school at Northwestern." She goes, "I did too." She goes,
there you go.
And so she kind of told me Southwestern's kind of growing on her a little bit just because she lives in Weatherford now. But it's good to have another Ranger poking around in my mouth, I guess, instead of a Southwestern person trying to stab me.
Oh, Eric.
Hey, Ely, you need to see if you can find somebody to show you old films of Southwestern, Northwestern basketball games. Coach Battisti, back when he was at Northwestern, showed me some film. Percival Fieldhouse is packed.
Yeah.
The corners were packed full of people to the point where I know that the fire marshal even had to shut it down a couple times, not letting people come in. I long for that. Ely, at least,
you want that rivalry back.
When I was on school at Northwestern, we barely played Southwestern because of the D2 NAI thing. At least you get to experience the rivalry.
Together, yeah.
And we're going down to Southwestern this year, so we'll be ready for that one.
Ely's
I'm ready for it.
You're going to be pumping them up. And we're ready for the second half here in Clinton at the Tornado Bowl as the Boomers get ready to receive it. Of course, Clinton will kick it off. And Eric, if you're the Boomers, got to watch for one of those intentional, maybe unintentional onside kicks. We've seen De La Fuente's. Oh, that's right. I'm dumb. I'm flipping it. I was wrong. Boomers received to start the game. I don't know where I was getting.
It's okay. There's been times this year where we've done the same.
I talked about it for a full 10 minutes and we're getting the ball back. God, I'm goofy. My apologies.
It's okay.
So the Boomers will kick off. We'll see the defense first. As my bad. I falsely hyped you guys up in terms of the viewers. So what I'm thinking there. It was controversial to start with the end zones. That's what got me. That's what we're going to blame it on. So it's Douglas Fisher on to kick off for the Boomers. So he's got everybody in position. A couple of Red Tornadoes back deep to return. Including Martin, the deepest man. The Boomers again go with the squib kick. This one bouncing, and it's going to be caught by Hester, and he'll just kind of gently fall to the ground about the 22-yard line, maybe the 23, and that's where Clinton will begin the first drive of the second half.
And Tyler, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see a lot more of kickoffs like that from Boomers the rest of the year. Multiple times where it's been the return that, has kind of cost us, given the opponent an opportunity to score because of the field position they have. So, I think now they're going to start taking it away from them.
So first attempt for Clinton in the gun goes Hernandez. So motion of man Hester across formation. They give it to him on the sweep. Plugs ahead across the 25 near the 30-yard line for a solid gain on first down. Not quite a first down, but a good chunk of it for Hester on the end-around sweep. Gets to the 20, or it does get to the 30, they call it. So a gain of 8.
Yeah, and I think the Clinton coaching staff has recognized something because it feels like everything, they're trying to take everything to the right side now.
As Hernandez under center this time, I formation, 2 receivers right side. They pitch it there. It's Hester again, this time on the pitch. Gets across the 32, has the first, but doesn't get much further, and a late flag comes in. It was thrown at the...
Yeah, I think this is going to be a sideline warning.
Oh, okay. It was thrown on the sideline. So, yeah, warning the coaches there, so sideline warning. It's just a warning, no penalty yardage. As the ball does get to the 33-yard line, enough for the first down by a yard. Hester on the run again. Now the Boomer faithful chipping in their opinions on it.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was a comment was made, from somebody on the Boomer coaching staff right in the officials' ear.
There you
that's
go.
What he's.
So Hernandez under center, I formation again, 2 receivers right side. They hand it off this time to Collins up the middle, and the Boomers get on him quick. It looks like maybe Levi Harrison on that tackle. It was.
Yeah, great job by Levi Harrison. Kind of as he was going by, reached out there and just made a solo tackle.
And that's what you got to do against Collins. He's a stronger back, shorter but stronger. He's going to get a couple yards falling forward. Did there, but if you could corral him to a gain of 2, that's not going to be enough for a first down anytime soon.
Yeah, Boomers. One thing that they were doing earlier, struggling with not getting the push. Defensive line really kind of needs to step up, get a little bit more of a push.
2nd and 8, 10:30 left in the third quarter. Just underway here in the second half. Hernandez under center, pitches out to Hester right side, looking to cut upfield, gets along the sideline, nice spin move, takes him to the 45, and Hester so good operating in the tight space.
Well, we've talked about multiple times this year, not over pursuing and trying to do too much. And right there, that's what a Boomer did was, they had an opportunity, and they were more worried about taking a shot, delivering a big hit than actually wrapping up.
So a 10-yard run by Hester gets us to the 45. 1st and 10 for Clinton. 10 left in the third quarter. As it'll be Hernandez under center. High formation, 2 receivers right side this time. They hand it off to Collins up the middle. Kind of backtracks. Mason Arnold there waiting on him. He gets first contact to Trip Bates, and a host of Boomers sling him down. Not much of a gain. They give him forward progress, gain of 2.
Yeah, Mason Arnold came in on the other side of the field, kind of made kind of
a loop,
yeah. Kind of U-turn, and whenever the ball carrier made it, tried to make somebody miss, he was right there to deliver the initial hit. And the rest of the Boomers finished him off.
Well, just good job watching that backside, because that's something that Clinton did early in the game, able to find those backdoor cuts. 2nd and 8 for the Red Tornadoes. Hernandez under center again. Handoff up the middle. This time it's Hill, the trio backs. He's tackled right at the 50-yard line by Levi Harris. Dragged it down. Short gain there. Brings up 3rd and 5. So now this is where the Boomers, you want to get off the field if you can. 9:05 remaining in the third quarter. Clinton on the opening drive of the third quarter. They lead 20-6 over the Boomers. Got the ball at the 50. Got to get to the Boomer 45 for the first down.
The Boomer defense made a little bit of an adjustment where, they're getting the initial push in the middle, but the DNs are actually coming around to cut him off.
Yeah. So 3rd and 5 for Clinton. Hernandez again under center. 2 receivers right side. High formation. They pitch it to Hester. He cuts it up the middle. Has a hole. Gets the first down across the 45 and slung down about the 42, 43. And Hester did a good job just finding the hole and cutting it upfield.
Yeah, Bowen Morton made him pay for it. Gave him a little bit of a shot.
8-yard gain by Hester, who's been impressive tonight, as you mentioned, the junior. Gets the first down for Clinton as the clock ticks to 8:30. Right in the third quarter. This is what the Red Tornadoes really want to do in this second half. Establish these long drives, kind of squeeze that clock.
Yeah, as much as I want the Boomers to score, but I also want this to go fast because I'm going numb in the lower extremities.
Hernandez under center, high formation, 2 receivers left side. The hands off to Collins again up the middle, and he is met there by Reese Durkee and Casey Board.
Yeah, and a lot of that also is Zaylen Flores got a good push on the initial snap and kind of took away his running lane and forced him to make a little bit of movement for the other guys to come in there and deliver the blow.
So no gain, they say, for Collins on the first down run. Makes it 2nd and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. 7:45 remaining third quarter. They lead 20-6 over the Boomers. Hernandez again under center, high formation, 2 receivers right side. As a hand off to Collins up the middle, this time has a better hole, gets to the 35 and finally trucked down about the 32-33, nearly a first, so it'll be 3rd and short. Collins that time had some lead blocks out in front.
Yeah, and this is where you got to give credit where credit is due to the Clinton offense. They're not doing anything fancy. They're just, they've taken away that sweep. So now they're just going to dive it straight up the middle. And if you get just enough of a push, you're going to pick up some yardage.
3rd and 2 from the Boomer 34. Hernandez under center. High formation. He'll just try to dive forward. Has the first down and trying to drag the pile across the 30. Gets to the 29. Helmet comes off somebody late. It may have been Hernandez.
I think it was Hernandez's helmet, so it's going to force
him out of play.
I think they're going to go to a wildcat.
Yeah, it looks like it. Not seeing Powell come onto the field yet. So it's a first down for Clinton at the 30. Gave him a gain of a few.
And now Powell has come running on the field.
So it will be the freshman Easton Powell in for at least a play. This will be under center. 1st and 10 for the Red Tornado at the Boomer 30. High formation again, slanted a bit. 2 receivers right side. Tight end as well. And Powell hands off to Romanos, his first carry of the night. And Case Bourne trying to drag him down as Romanos gets to the 25 before he's taken down. Bourne tried to crown quick, But Romanos, that's the thing about these Clinton running backs. They will keep those feet moving.
Yeah, they will. You know, and again, that goes back to that's just a part of the culture with the kids coming up from a young age, just doing everything they can. Something that Coach Gordon and his staff are trying to build at Woodward. You know, is those little things like that. You don't have to teach the basics because of where they're already at. So then you can start working on the other skills, you know, that need to be taught.
2nd and 5, another handoff this time to Collins. Escapes out of a tackle, cuts to the left side, cuts it back at the 10, trying to stiff arm a man, racing the end zone, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Zayden Collins finding some space, cutting it to the left side, and takes it 25 yards.
Good run, you know, good job to break tackles, but you got to have those tackles right there, especially after 6 minutes come off the clock.
And Dale Fuente cashes in the extra point, making it 27-6 in favor of the Red Tornadoes with 5:51 remaining in the third quarter. So they go on a big, just over 6 minute, or excuse me, that'd be, just over 6 minute opening drive. And looked like 12 plays on that drive.
Yeah.
So,
and now if you're the Boomers, you got to do everything you can to keep your heads up. Don't, you know, let's not worry about what the scoreboard shows.
Right.
You felt like you were still in this game. Now it feels like it's kind of getting out of your, getting away a little bit. So just go out there and do what you need to do to continue to move in the right direction.
well, if you get answer back for the offense, you know, get that first touchdown of the game, you're still keeping it within 2 scores. Try. Still got plenty of clock left. You're right. Just want to see that confidence continue no matter what the score is.
Woodward 6, your Red Tornado.
And I think for me, the way I'm kind of looking at this realistically is the fact that you just saw Clinton use 12 plays to take off that much time.
Yeah.
Now our backs are against the wall. The clock's in their advantage. You know, you just got to continue to work and, you know, do what you can to try to build some momentum going into next week as well.
So it'll be De La Fuente on the kick into the wind here. Decent gust going. Latal, Moore back deep to return for the Boomers. See if De La Fuente goes short again.
I can feel that decent gust. I can feel it.
De La Fuente jogs
What's wrong up there, Eric?
This one a decent kick carried. Latal has a chance to fill that at the 10-yard line near side. Cuts it back to the middle of the field, trying to break out of a tackle. 25. Taken down about the 26-27. A flag did come in late on the play as well. So unfortunately, it might back up the Boomers.
Yeah, and I think this is another one of those, whether it's a hold or a block in the back by the Boomers. We've seen this multiple times where it looks like it was something that actually didn't have any kind of bearing on the play itself.
Let's see what the call is. It is a block in the back on Woodward. So back up from what was going to be about the 26, maybe the 27. And they'll take it back. So Boomers going to start within their own 20. Discussing maybe where the penalty was had at. They're continuing to march it off. Should be inside the 15. It is to the 14-yard line. Or they give the 15.
Looks like it's good. Well, one.
Be the 15, okay.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
So that's where they'll go with it, with 5:45 remaining third quarter. Boomers offense on the field for the first time in the second half as Douglas Fisher in the gun has one receiver to his right, 2 to his left, tight end and running back right side as well. A handoff inside of Latal, tries to bounce into that short right side, gets up across the 15 to nearly the 20, calmed down at the 19, 4-yard gain. Could have probably had a little bit more from Latal, but good fight for it there.
Yeah, great job by Cooper just to recognize, hey, my first option to kind of go inside the tackle isn't there. You know, he kind of let the play develop and see what he could actually pick up.
2nd and 6 for Douglas Fisher is in the gun again. 2 receivers to his right as well as running back tight end. And then 1 receiver left side, short side is Colt Moore. Douglas Fisher with the snap. Rolling slightly to that right side, maybe a bit of a quarterback draw. Now cuts back to the left, and he's across the 25, and near the first ball came out late. And did Clinton recover?
I
They
think
say
it's
went out of bounds. Yeah, went out of bounds. Luckily for the Boomers, that one just popped out cleanly. And it looks like Drake Roberts struggled a little bit offensive line-wise. He may need to come out.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to come out. He came up, before the play was even over,
yeah.
struggling.
Dealing with that foot, maybe. Got rolled up on. He'll come out. But it'll be a first down for the Boomers on the run by Douglas Fisher. Gain of 7. To get a bit of a fortuitous bounce for Woodward. That one just popped out clean on Douglas Fisher as he's getting tackled.
As he was getting tackled, he spun around, just kind of popped out. But luckily, the momentum with the spin carried the ball out of bounds.
So in the shotgun, has a receiver, tight end, running back to his left, 2 receivers to the right. Just hands it off to Latal, up the gut. Patient, trying to plunge forward. Bit of a fight going on there in the middle of the pile. Gets maybe a yard or 2. Let's see where they mark that. Some physicality for sure going on.
Yeah, I like seeing it. I mean, the Boomer offensive line, we know their struggles, but they are in their fight and they're not going to back down tonight.
1 yard run officially by Latal. Clock at 4:30 remaining third quarter. Clinton still leads 27-6. Boomers trying to drive, find an answer. After Clinton went on a long 12-play drive, went 78 yards, took over 6 minutes off the clock to begin the third quarter. Douglas Fisher, gun, empty set as have trips to his left, 1 receiver right side as well as a tight end. Moore, the single receiver. Douglas Fisher looks his way, slant over the middle. Moore catches it, tried to fight off Hester. Hester does take him down, but not before Colt Moore gets to the 47-yard line. A nice catch and run.
Yeah, great job by Ryan Douglas Fisher also. He let it be a quick slant. He didn't wait too long. He let Colt make his move, get to a spot, and made a good, strong throw.
So a 20-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10 again for the Boomers as they continue to try to move up the field. Douglas Fisher again, empty set, tight end to his right side, as well as 3 receivers. Single man to left side, Colt Moore. High snap, back to pass. Now just pull it down, try to run with it. He gets popped right about the line of scrimmage. As on him there quickly was big number 66, Marcus Wilson, the senior defensive line. It looked like, not sure if that was quite a design draw, but Douglas Fisher was able to just try and take it forward, at least got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think that was design. I think that was because of the high snap. He recognized that there was really not a whole lot he could do, but pick up what he could. And fortunately, was able to get basically back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 for Woodward. Douglas Fisher in the gun, 2 receivers, tight end, running back to the right side, 1 to the left. They hand it off to Latal up the gut. He gets around a hole to the 50 into Clinton territory. Man, it might not give him the 49. I thought he got the 30, the 49. Not the case. They give him the 50. They did not give him a very good spot there.
3-yard run.
And that's not an angle issue for us. We got a perfect.
Yeah, we're right at the 50. We're here. So I'll call it 3rd and 7 for the Boomers. 2:50 remaining in the third quarter. They trail 27-6. Trying to get it into Clinton territory and get a first down. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Latal flanked on the left side, trips to his right, single man to his left side is Colt Moore. Back to pass is Douglas Fisher. Pump fakes, now he's going to scramble, has some room. Gets to the 45, makes a bit of a juke, running to the sideline, trying to get that first down. I think
he got it.
Just angled his way towards the sidelines enough for the sticks. It's right on him. I think he got it by nose.
Yeah, I think
close.
He should have it.
So for now, looks like a gain of 7 is enough for the first. Ooh,
no, that is a ridiculously, but they still gave it to him. That's a bad spot
well,
still.
That was about a half-yard short maybe where he actually was.
That is a terrible
We'll
shot.
call it a 7-yard run. Hey, we got the first. No complaint. We're good.
No, there's complaint. I think the initial, what Ryan wanted to do initially was hit Jake, quickly going up the field. Unfortunately, it wasn't there to get there as quick as he needed to, so he was able to take off with it.
Now the Boomers going to take a timeout as the clock goes to 2:25 remaining in the third quarter. Sealing State Bank now with a branch in Woodward at their new location, 2314 Williams Avenue. Sealing State Bank Woodward branch offers full-service banking, including personal checking, savings, home and commercial loans, as well as mobile and online banking, wire transfers, and much more. Sealing State Bank in Woodward, powering Boomer Sports all season long on KMZ FM Woodward. M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop for your best lawn, porch, or patio. M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop are your people. They carry everything you need to make sure your greenscape is that little piece of heaven you've always dreamed of. Locations in Woodward, Canton, and Weatherford. M&D powering Boomer Sports this season. Speaking of Boomer Sports, basketball practice has been underway now for a little bit. Got underway October 1st. Just saw Coach Gaines, Little Gaines, walking up towards us.
Not so little Gaines.
Little as in quotation marks. Little, he's actually like 6'6", so not so little.
And still growing.
And still growing. The freshmen should be fun to watch this year for that boys' side and the girls' side. Going to be a year where it's probably like the middle. Some of those girls step up after just have Riley Douglas Fisher, of course, to work with as well.
And if you haven't seen the schedule is out on the Woodward Boomer.
It's posted on the socials, yes.
Woodward Boomer Athletics social media.
So 1st and 10 for Woodward out of the timeout. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Has 2 receivers as well as a tight end running back to his left side. One man to his right. It's Colt Moore. Hands it off inside to Latal. Latal trying to fight through a block. Oyasarode was in trying to push the pile. Didn't get much. Gain of about 1. That's just one of those runs where you give it to Latal. He's got to try to explore that space. Sometimes the hole there, sometimes not quite.
Yeah.
So I make it 2nd and 9 for Woodward. In Douglas territory, in Clinton territory. I don't know why I'm saying Douglas territory. As Douglas Fisher in the gun. Same set as last. This time they motion Cooper out of the backfield. It's just going to be a pull down by Douglas Fisher, realizing that's not there. It does good to get forward for a gain of 2 or 3. Kind of one of those plays where it's a slow developer. Ryan Douglas Fisher realized, okay, probably not there, so he'll just take it himself for a gain of, looks like, 3.
Yeah, smart play. Clinton's sniffed out that screen, that little screen play all night long. One thing I'd like to see the Boomers do is kind of go up. You know, they've got the win. Let's take a chance downfield a little bit with Colt. They're pressing him a little bit. You know, we know that he can make a move and get some separation.
So Douglas Fisher in the gun, 3rd and 6 for the Boomers. Trips to his left, 1 to the right. They want the screen pass. They get to Latal, trying to get a block. Cuts upfield. Flag does come in. This is coming back. It was a 1st down initially for the Boomers inside the 30, but it is come back. And what a late push there on Latal. I don't see any flags. And there is a Clinton player down as well on the play. Flag came in on the backfield, though, on the blocks. As definitely a Clinton player down. So erase the 1st down. This will go from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and long for the Boomers.
What I saw, like I know where they saw the hole, but it looked like to me that the Boomer guy was actually being pulled back. And I don't know if he reached up to try to create some separation, maybe made the hold there. I don't know. I kind of wish they would have recognized what happened downfield with Cooper.
Yeah.
Down there.
So 1:34 remains in the 3rd quarter as the Boomers will back it up now instead of the 1st. Looks like the Clinton player up. Can't tell who it was. Not sure if that was Hester again. It might have been. He was a little, slow to get off the field. So Hester dealing with some issues in the 2nd half. Do want to update. We mentioned that Fairview Hooker game. Hooker might be ending the streak tonight. They lead 26-7 in the 4th quarter. Fairview's 36-game win streak might be coming to an end. As it'll be 3rd and about 15 for the Boomers. Billy was a little more upfield. This will be Douglas Fisher in the gun. They'll have trips to his right side, single receiver to his left, as well as the running back of Latal. Douglas Fisher takes the snap, some pressure coming quick. He throws it to Graff. Graff with the catch inside the 40 to about the 38. Not a 1st down, but does get a good gain. And sits up Woodward in the range. This is, I got to imagine, 4-down territory. Got to be.
Yeah, I think you got to do something to, try to get on the board here on this possession. I think great job. I like the play called. I think it was well executed. You just pick up what you can. And
gain of 10, 4th and 4. They'll call it for the Boomers. Snap to Douglas Fisher, and he'll just go with the pooch punt. So we've seen that before. Does this angle?
Oh, there you go.
Angle's out of bounds near the 5, maybe just inside it. So we've seen Ryan be adept at those little pooch punts. I like it.
Yeah, great job there.
Definitely inside the 10. We'll see where it really rolled out. I thought that was maybe the 5 or so.
Looks like they're going to mark it to 6.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe a little bit more, but again, the angle from where we're at here.
Right. So Clinton does take over with 53 seconds remaining 3rd quarter as they lead 27-6 over the Boomers. They'll have it deep in their own territory at the 6. This will be Hernandez leading them back onto the field. He'll be under center, single back behind him. Receivers split out to the right side. A couple tight ends in the formation, going heavy. As they'll pitch it, that will be Romanos, I believe, on the carry, and he'll fight across the 10 near the 12. It was Romanos on the Clinton sweep, that time getting out in front of it. It's a gain of 8, so that's kind of, it's always daunting, Eric, when you know Clinton knows they can just run that sweep and still get pretty good yardage.
Yeah, and I think the Boomer defense needs to get a little bit more aggressive as far as, not necessarily play calls or anything like that, but they're playing back, trying to let things happen. I think at this point you've got to go at them.
Got to take that fight to him, as Clinton does have to get a play off here before the end of the third quarter. Hernandez under center, receiver each side, I formation. They go to Collins up the gut, has a bit of a hole, cuts it out to the right side. Now he's trying to race ahead, gets to the 35, 40, 50. Colborn trying to track him down at the 40, the 30, 25, 20, and Collins going to be able to beat the Boomers to the end zone. No flags on the play. Zayden Collins, a huge touchdown run, 86 yards for the senior. And just again, that cutback, and he found his lane.
That's tough. That goes back to the
We've got a flag, Ely, down on the play.
There's a flag down here at the 35.
Okay, so this one coming back potentially. But it is towards the sideline, so we'll see what the call is. Not sure what it would be.
I just worry about the fact that it's right up against the sideline. That
it might be another sideline. Sideline.
And that time it'll be a sideline infraction because we've already got the warning tonight.
That's right. And they're letting the extra point go, so it's got to be what it is. So Clinton does indeed score an 86-yard touchdown run by Collins. As De La Fuente on for the extra point. And that is good. That's how we end the third quarter. Clinton will take a 33-6 advantage into the fourth. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
At Bank of Western Oklahoma, we know what it takes to keep your farm running smoothly. Our experienced lenders understand agriculture and offer competitive loans for real estate, livestock, equipment, and more. We are locally owned and invested in our communities, making decisions that benefit you quickly. Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire.
Tired of complicated Wi-Fi management? Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi makes it easy. With Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi, you can set your Wi-Fi password, view all your connected devices, and even run speed tests all from your phone. Need to set up parental controls? No problem. Simple, smart, secure. Stay connected and in control with Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi. Visit GoPioneer.com to learn more.
And back here at the Tornado Bowl as Clinton ready to kick off to begin the fourth quarter after their two-play touchdown drive. And this one by De La Fuente, sent to the 5-yard line, fielded by Cooper Latal. Cut it to his right side, trying to get up the sideline, gets the 30, or he's taken out of bounds just past the 30, maybe the 32-yard line. And there's words said there.
Well, I think we heard what that penalty was.
Yeah, some words, unfortunately. So that one might be on the Boomers, so emotions, if you will. There.
And I think it was a retaliation where the Boomers said something back, and that's right.
Can't use the words. So that will be against the Boomers. I'll back them up. Was going to be at the 32. We'll back this up. Nevertheless, the Boomers will take over to start the fourth quarter. 11:52 remaining in the ball game. They do trail 34-6. start the drive. That should be about the 17-yard line is where we'll take it.
I think that's Coach Gordon and Coach Mattingly. They're down there. Not Mattingly, but Coach Lewis. They're down there trying to figure out, why it wasn't called the other way. When, it sounded like maybe because they think that it was heard, but it wasn't called initially, but it was called against us, and so.
It's 1st and 10 for the Boomers at their own 16. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers right side, 1 to left. Now a flag, false start maybe. Douglas Fisher trying to argue his case. So back the Boomers up further as it is a false start. So move back 5 yards on the false start.
But I think unfortunately now you're starting to see the frustration for the Boomers, and this is where that whole growing program comes into play.
Yeah.
Is they haven't quite learned how to get over the hump when it comes to their backs against the wall in these types of situations. They got to learn to just let things just roll off and keep going.
This will be 1st and 15 for the Boomers. A little bit of a running back change as Cooper Latal steps out. Parkhurst comes in. So it'll be in the backfield with Douglas Fisher. Shotgun, 2 receivers right side as well as a tight end, and 1 to the left, Colt Moore. High snap, taken, given to Parkhurst. He'll find a hole up the middle to the 20, balls forward to the 20, near the 25, and tackled down at the 24. So nice hole opened up there. Parker's able to take it and just sprint with it.
And I think some of this may be after, after trying to think of which play it was. At some point, I saw Cooper get up and he was kind of limping a little
after
bit.
The kick return.
After the kick return, yeah, he was limping a little bit, and so I think that's
some fresh legs.
Kind of, keep him out of the play a little bit.
So Douglas Fisher in the gun again. This time 2nd and about 3. Parker strung out, and he's taken down in the backfield on the carry. As that time tried to push it to the edge, nothing doing. Lost a couple maybe. They get back at the 21. Lost a few actually, so bring up 3rd, about 5. So the Boomers could convert here. 10:45 remains in the ball game. Woodward trails 34-6. Shotgun for Douglas Fisher. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Douglas Fisher looking to the right side to pass. Floats it towards the sideline. Graff with the catch near the 30, and he's going to be close to that 1st down.
I think he's got it.
He's either going to be right on it or just a touch short. Needed to get to 30, and they're giving him the first. So he got it. Yeah. So there you go. Nice completion out to Jay Graff. Here are the Boomer cheerleaders getting excited.
And that's it. Kind of, Coach Gordon kind of mentioned how, kind of Jake is the complement to what Colt Moore is.
Yeah, Colt's the burner, Jake's the possession.
Right. Whenever we need to pick up some yards, try to put it in Jake's hands. We've seen that. Yeah, he'll still drop it once in a while, but he's a gamer and he responds well.
It's 1st and 10 for Woodward at the 30-yard line. Their own territory still. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers right side, 1 left. Now a whistle before the snap.
It's delay a game.
Delay game. Doesn't see the play clock running down. So back to Boomers up 5.
Now, yeah, Cooper coming back in. Looks like he's probably going to
rest up a little bit, maybe. Parker still with a nice job in his couple of touches. Got that big run to get you back close to the sticks. 10:33 left of the ball game. Boomers have it 1st and 15 now at their own 25. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Oh, high snap over his head. They got to track it down. Latal just going to fall on it all the way back at the 5-yard line. An official got taken down in the middle of that too. Incidental contact. Got blown up in the middle of it. Everybody was mad scrambling to the football.
I don't know if you saw what I saw, but I saw this.
Yeah,
so.
Well, we'll live with the incidental contact. Unfortunately for the Boomers, a big loss backs them up to make it a 2nd and 26 now from their own 9. So it's 2 bad snaps that have really hurt them. This will be Douglas Fisher in the gun. Trips to his left, 1 to the right, looking to the left side, trying to float a pass. This one hanging in the air, but it's picked off by Romanos, and he'll return it for a touchdown. And it's a pick 6 for Clinton. Darius Romanos with the interception and the return, and Clinton extends their lead.
I think that was a lot of what happened there was just that ball kind of hung up there.
You're going against the wind,
you threw it right into the wind, and when we say right in, that is the direct actual into the wind. Throw it right at the direction that it's coming. I think it just kind of stuck there.
So Clinton tacks on a little bit more with 9:42 remaining. De La Fuente with the extra point, and that is good. So Clinton makes the lead 40-6 over the Boomers. It's one of those, they stack up, you get on a second and very long, trying to make something happen. Smith & Co. Auction and Realty, Oklahoma's real estate and land auction expert. Smith & Co. is your #1 choice for all your land auctions and real estate needs. Call 580-254-3975 or email ira@smithcorealestate.com. Counting the Boomers all season long, Smith & Co. As well as Great Plains Bank, Heritage, Trust, Respect. Those are the things that make Great Plains Bank great. With deep roots across Oklahoma and Texas, they are in touch with the communities in which their customers live and work. Great Plains Bank, powering Boomers throughout the season. So Woodward will be back to return. It looks like it'll be a new kicker this time for Clinton. We'll go to Fabian Martinez, the sophomore, taking over for Carlos De La Fuente, the senior.
I mean, if you're the Boomers, you just got to figure out a way to try to get something going. You know, you kind of fall them back into that mold of, you know, you play really well until about mid-third quarter and it starts to fall apart. You know, just continue to fight.
So Martinez ready to boot it for Clinton. Wait on the official signal. Tall, Moore back deep to return again. On the left and right side of the field, this one angling towards Latal. So take it inside zone 15, about the 13. Cuts it back over to the left side, gets across the 20 to 25, met by a host of Clinton Tornadoes as they pile in on them about the 27-28. And that's where the Boomers will take over.
We got some more extracurricular activity going on away from the play.
Yeah, well, and Clinton at the end of that play was kind of piling on in the tackles, so that's probably upset the Boomers to a degree. But it was all before the whistle. Say what you want about it. You know, not saying it was clean, but
there was also something kind of back in the middle of the field that was.
Gotcha.
And that's why I think, you know, it's just kind of gotten to that point where it's chippy. Both of these schools have had, you know, history at times of kind of getting under each other's skin, and I think that's kind of where we're at right now in this game.
So Woodward takes over at their own 29. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They go with the quick screen. Short side to Colt Moore. Breaks 1 tackle to the line of scrimmage. Across the 30, 35 before he's taken down, but not before a nice gain by Colt Moore again, just working well in space to get him to 36. Gain to 7. More promising sophomore, so good in open space. 2nd and 3 for the Boomers. Do have some score updates as well within the district. It's gone final, and Cash Bridge Creek gets the 30-21 win. Elk City leads Douglas 42-0 third quarter. And Elgin taking it to Weatherford 56-14 in the fourth. As in the gun, Douglas Fisher again, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Douglas Fisher rolls to the right side, looking to pass. Still has time, plants his feet, throws it back over the middle, finds Colt Moore, came back for it. And it's a catch by Moore, first down. And a good job by Moore, just finding the space, and a late flag comes in, and this time, this one might be on Clinton. I'm not sure.
I hope it's
it is.
I think it might go against, because of the way Colt came up, but he came up because he, you know, he kind of got an extra.
He's getting piled on. There's no way
in the back almost.
Yeah, he didn't even do anything to him, unless this was a line of scrimmage deal.
Well, no, he signaled personal foul to the. I say that's what.
It must not have been Colt Moore then. It must have been some extra.
Well, what I wonder is because Colt came up and he kind of went at him a little bit, kind of, and so.
But there was nothing done.
But it should have been. There should have been a personal foul prior to that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that was kind of hidden at all. That was kind of that was in plain sight.
Right. It must. It had. There's no way it was on Moore. Then it had to be on somebody else. So
I hope so. I mean, I'm hoping so, but it was definitely right after Colt made his little move where it looked like he wanted to go after it.
Right.
That's what. Not right. You know.
Well, I'm saying, yeah. I'm saying, I get what you're saying. So it's still first down for the Boomers. You essentially, because they did get the stick, it was a dead ball foul. The problem is they're back at the 30 though.
I feel like if you don't make the initial call, you don't call anything in that situation.
First and 10 for Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 receivers right side, 1 left. Backfield with them is Latal right side. They go with the screen pass again. This time it's open. Latal able to find it. Break a tackle about the 30. Gets up to about the 32, 33. So a bit of space there. Hopefully was wanting a bit more, but good job by Clem to get and read that underneath.
Yeah, and a good call by the Boomers just to pick up what you can pick up. You know, try to make this a little bit shorter second down.
8:05 remains in the ball game. Clinton still leads 41-6. Boomers trying to drive. As Douglas Fisher in the gun, second and about 7. It's 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, as well as a tight end. It's rolling. Latal flanking on the right side. Douglas Fisher back to pass, looking to that right side, now stepping up in the pocket, looking to take off. Gets to the 20 or the 35, trying to break a tackle at the 40. Does, and gets out of bounds about the 42, 43. Douglas Fisher with those feet, just finding a way. It's a bit infuriating at times because you want him to take it upfield, but he knows he can outrun guys to the edge.
That time, luckily at work, it's one of those situations where, it felt like if he made a little bit of a move, he could have done it the other way. So, we'll take what we can get.
Take what we get. Gain of 10 by Douglas Fisher. Gives them the first. So they'll have it at their own 43. They'll be back in the gun as Latal to the left side, as well as 2 receivers. Single receiver right side and a tight end. Latal motions out of the backfield. And they'll take the deep shot to Cole Moore, trying to race past defenders, and the pass just a bit too far. It says outside, it's out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, like I said, just missed that pass. I think, Colt was kind of hoping that.
And the wind had died down perfectly a little bit.
I think Colt was hoping there was a little bit of pass interference there, but unfortunately, because the ball was uncashable, they're not going to make that call.
This will be second and 10. Don't mind taking the deep shot, though. Why not? You had kind of called for it right off that little motion out of the backfield, and they finally did it. Just didn't quite connect. 7:44 remains in the game. Boomers have it second and 10 at their own 43. Douglas Fisher in the backfield again, motions Latal out of there. Going on the swing, looks over the middle, trying to find Luke Talley. That one behind him, incomplete, brings up third down. Talley was coming a little more inside as Douglas Fisher was hoping he'd stick a little bit more up the middle.
Who's on the ground?
Third and 10 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun, empty set, trips to his left, 1 receiver to his right, as well as the tight end. Latal, the inside receiver on the left, Moore the single receiver. With the snap, back to pass to Douglas Fisher, facing some immediate pressure, just floats it away. That one maybe got case of some happy feet there, I think, because it was a cleaner pocket than I think what he thought he was getting.
Yeah, I think because he had Easton Powell coming at him, and I think that's what he recognized initially. He didn't realize that, Powell was actually going to be picked up. And, so he just kind of dumped it over the top.
Fourth and 10 for Woodward. They'll punt it back. About 7:37 remaining. Jay Graff off this one.
Yeah, we ain't calling that.
Jeez.
Good job, Ely.
That's Graff.
Another
decent punt into the wind. This one fielded tightly by Martin. That was Gutierrez, Jesus Gutierrez with the catch. Got it right at the 29. The Boomers on it. So that's where Clinton will take it back with 7:31 remaining in the ballgame. It's Clinton looking to advance to the 6-1 on the season. This time will be Easton Powell out to be the quarterbacking duties for the Red Tornadoes. Maybe a couple of new running backs as well. Still got some of the ones receivers out there. Powell under center, I formation. So he'll hand it off to his new back, and Levi Harris all over him from the jump. That run taken by Darius Hicks, the senior.
Great job by Levi Harris to blow him up right at the snap to, be able to bring him down at the line of scrimmage.
Snow game for Hicks on the play brings up 2nd and 10 for Clinton. As the clock aiming towards under 7 minutes now left. As Powell under center, I formation, has 2 receivers to his right side. This time they fake the toss and give it to the fullback, finds some space, gets to the 40, dragging a man to the 45 before he's tackled by a couple of Boomers. That time, Marcelo Juarez, the senior, the up man, able to get an explosive carry and the first down for Clinton.
Good sell by Easton Powell back there. It looked like he was going to make a deeper pitch, and he just kind of dropped it down right in the ball carrier's hand.
18-yard run from fullback Juarez. 1st and 10 for Clinton at their own 47-yard line. Powell under center again. High formation look. 2 receivers right side. As this time they pitch it out to Hicks, trying to cut it up the field. Finds a bit of a hole across the 50 in the Boomer territory at the 45 before Reese Durkee rides him down. He'll be just short of the first. Gain of about 9. Six minutes remains in the ball game. Clinton with possession, trying to drive.
I'm ready to get in the car and turn that seat heater on.
You guys and your coldness, I tell you what.
Hey, I'm good.
You got the hoodie hat. You got the veil out. Danny Healy. He's in the all gray. I like it. Under center is Powell again. 2nd and 1 for Clinton. This time another fake of the pitch. Gives it to Juarez. Another nice hole on the dive. And he'll get into the Boomer 35-yard line before he's taken down. Not before another first down.
Same thing. Yeah, he's doing a good job of selling that pitch, but the Boomers got to do a better job of, paying attention to where the ball is. They've struggled with that little fullback, with any kind of fullback play. They kind of struggled with it all year.
So 1st and 10 for Clinton at the Boomer 34. Powell under center, trying to get his guys lined up. BI formation, this time 2 receivers to his left. Powell takes snap, I think false start or an offside. Might be on the Boomer.
I think it might be an offside. I couldn't quite tell who it was, but he tried to catch himself and unfortunately fell forward.
It is offside on the Boomers. That might have been Autry. And the streak, Eric, is over. Hooker defeats Fairview 38-7 tonight. Bulldogs senior class get their first win over the Yellow Jackets.
There'll be some partying in the Panhandle tonight, boys.
Oh, man. So 1st and 5 for Clinton after the penalty. Under center is Powell yet again. I formation. Motions a man across the formation. They'll pitch it out to Hicks. This time he's going to take it straight ahead. Try to fight over Kason Bourne. Plugs forward. Gets across the 25 down to about the 22-yard line. Where he's taken down. It's a first down again for the Red Tornadoes.
Probably have a new number 1 in Class A Division 1.
I'd say so. Hooker's only loss was to Sunray, 30-28 to begin the season. Sunray has one of the best quarterbacks in all of Texas football. Barndo Lugin, who's well over 10,000 yards in his career as well. He's beast.
And that says something about one of the best quarterbacks in Texas football.
Yes. No, he legitimately is. I promise you. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Clinton. This time Powell again with that handoff to Juarez. He gets to the 15-yard line where he's taken down. There's a 7-yard game. Clinton just plugging away right now with these tough runs. As the clock goes under 4 minutes now, Clinton trying to put a final drive in here. All the Boomers.
Unfortunately, Boomer defense is, playing for some pride right here. And in body language, something you'd like to see a little bit better. I know you're down, but, the shoulders are slumped and moving a little bit slower.
Powell again hands off. Again, Hicks, he jumps through a hole, gets across the 10-yard line down to about the 8, maybe the 7. It's another first down for Clinton. Give them the 8, so a 7-yard run for Hicks. Now they go first and goal on the Boomers at the 7. So we go down to 3:15 remaining in the ballgame. As under center, Powell yet again, I formation. Single receiver, a couple tight ends. They go with the dive. Juarez racing towards the end zone. Ooh, chopped down by the Boomers there. He tried to look like dive and got caught up by his own man.
Yeah, I was just.
That was a bit of an awkward.
Technically,
dive.
maybe it gives that tackle to Mason Arnold. He's right there, but
I think it was more of a Clint lineman that tackled him. Yeah. So called a gain of 6 to the 2. Second and goal from the 2 for Clinton as the clock goes to 2:35 remaining. It's Powell under center yet again, I formation. In tight is the formation, just one receiver on the right side. Powell with the handoff to Juarez. Did he get in? Oh, the Boomers stand him up, only a gain of a yard. So it brings up 3rd and goal from the 1.
Like maybe it was Mason Boring who came in there and kind of stuffed him a little bit, and then Trip Bates finished him off with a bunch of other posse of Boomers.
A posse of Boomers.
That's that's not a good one. A wagon train of Boomers. No. I don't. What do you call it? What
Cavalcade of Boomers.
Cavalcade. Okay.
It's the 3rd and goal from the 1 for Clinton. Boomers trying to come up with a bit of a defensive stand. Powell under center, high formation. The receiver right side, they'll pitch it out to Hicks. He gets the edge and gets in for the touchdown. And the senior Darius Hicks puts one in from 1 yard out for Clinton. Then 35 remaining in the ballgame.
A rush of Boomers.
A rush of Boomers.
You know, land run. That's what a Boomer.
Yeah, all right, okay. We'll workshop it. We'll figure something out. Coming on for the extra points will be De La Fuente. It's like, oh wait, we scored. I gotta go out there and kick. He had the kickoff, so he wasn't ready. Snap ball down, and the extra points is no good. Missed it to the left. So De La Fuente missed a couple extra points tonight, so that makes it 47-6 in favor of Clinton. Just over a minute and a half remaining. Compass Athletics, from sports equipment to championship trophies and everything in between. Visit them 2024 Main Street in Woodward or call 580-256-7045. R5 Embroidery. When you work with R5, you can count on a quick, fun, and enjoyable process with results that consistently exceed your expectations. Go chat with their screen printer experts about customized apparel. 817 Main Street, Woodward, or call 580-256-3579. And Western Drug at 1021 Oklahoma Avenue. They've got friendly and caring staff and a drive-through window that's awfully convenient. Always excellent service as well. 580-256-5586. Compass Athletics, R5, and Western Drug, powering Boomer Sports throughout the season. So Woodward will have one more offensive chance to end the game. Just a minute 35 remaining. As Martinez on to kick this off for Clinton. Latal, Moore deep to return for the Boomers. Just waiting on the official signal. As there goes Martinez. This one a decent kick, carrying with the win. Latal fields it about his own 3-yard line. He'll cut across the field, gets to the 15, now up towards the 20, spins around at about the 25, and chopped down about the 27-yard line. Latal with the spirited return. And the Boomers take over with a minute 27 remaining. Probably going to see the second unit, I imagine. At least some of it with the skills guys. And we'll still see Ryan Douglas Fisher out there. So also see Cash Carter out there. We'll see how they play it.
Yeah, I think you might see Cash going out wide receiver.
Yes, he is. So we'll also see Dominique Gord out there. The Boomers have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. Douglas Fisher in the gun, empty set, trips to his right, 2 to his left, back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, taking the deep shot, looking for Luke Talley. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a
no flag.
Yeah.
Luke Talley just got clocked, but I guess the argument is uncatchable ball.
It wasn't a catchable ball, but that was also a blindside hit. And I think that's where, I mean, he ear-holed him basically.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt like, you know, what not necessarily pass interference, but, you know, more of a personal foul because of the, you know, the way he hit him.
So we're up 2nd and 10 for Woodward. Minute 21 remains in the game. As again, Douglas Fisher in the gun, empty set, trips to his right, 2 to his left. Back to pass. Looking left side this time, wants a deep shot to Colt Moore. This has been underthrown. Oh, and Moore waited on it, and he couldn't get it. Kind of an odd one, as on the defense there was Rylan Wolford, the sophomore. He misjudged it, played it short, and Moore was waiting on it, and it just slipped through his hands.
Yeah, I think maybe Colt took his eye off of it a little bit just because.
You would have had green grass, man.
Well, between green grass, but also looked like, you know, balls probably should have been deflected.
Yeah.
And I wonder if maybe he was waiting to see if he could make a play on the deflection.
Correct.
And unfortunately, it was terrible defense that caused the drop ball, I think.
Yeah, Wolford mistimed the jump on it and effectively didn't touch it. So 3rd and 10 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun, this time with full tall on the backfield. 2 receivers as well as tight ends to the right. Single man more at the left side. They'll just give it to Latal on 3rd and 10. He skates past the defender, gets a 30, balls out. Clinton just gets it automatically as that slipped out of Latal's hand right into the sophomore Ben Daughtry's hands. So a fumble on 3rd down gives Clinton the turnover. Just been that kind of night, unfortunately.
Fortunately, it's kind of been that kind of second half. I don't want to say that kind of night.
Yeah, that kind of night. That's a little unfair. Yeah, you're right. That second half.
You know, it felt really good. You know, yeah, the Boomers were down 20-6 at halftime.
But you did some good things. Defense played well. You're right.
Right.
You're right.
You know, felt
that kind of second half.
You know, it just kind of fell apart. I think they let the emotion of the game itself. You know, there was a lot of extracurricular stuff going on. I think they let that get in their heads a little bit and just kind of spiral.
Clinton with a new quarterback as they'll come in this time with Jeter King, the freshman. He'll take the snap, hand off to his up back, new up back as well. Good hit laid there by Mason Bourne after a bit of a gain. Braden Walker, the freshman, on the carry. He'll get a gain of 6 on 1st down. Clinton just needing to run a couple plays here to end this one, as the clock ticks down to 45 seconds remaining. Be 2nd and 4 for the Red Tornadoes at the 31. They'll pitch it this time to the running back, trying to evade some tacklers. He's taken down quickly by Trip Bates. Not sure who that was on the carry. Looked like maybe, trying to see, 26 possibly. So that'd be Snyder Dalville, the freshman.
They don't need to snap. Don't need to snap the ball to end this game.
And that will be the end of it as Clinton takes it 47-6 over the Boomers here in the Tornado Bowl at Clinton. We'll step aside for a break, come back, put the wrap on this one. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire, at 2220 Main in Woodward.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
At Bank of Western Oklahoma, we know what it takes to keep your farm running smoothly. Our experienced lenders understand agriculture and offer competitive loans for real estate, livestock, equipment, and more. We are locally owned and invested in our communities, making decisions that benefit you quickly. Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
And back here in Clinton, as we put the wrap on the game tonight, the Boomers fall on the road, 47-6 in this one. And, just one of those games, Eric, I think you said it right. Just kind of an unfortunate second half. The Boomers in the first half, we're talking about, did a lot of things we liked, played tough, and then Clinton just kind of set that tone in the second half and ended it in a way where it looked like a team that knows how to close games, right?
Yeah, and like I said, I felt like, the Boomers, we haven't seen it a lot, but we have kind of seen it the last 2 weeks where the emotions of how the game is going has affected their play. Because even in the victory against Douglas, they still let the emotion of the game get to them at times, and that's one thing that the Boomers are going to have to learn to fight through and just play their game.
Yeah, stay with themselves a bit, not let the other team get to them. So for sure. And we get to our Bank of Western Oklahoma player of the game. I think we've decided this week on Mr. Jake Graff, the young sophomore, making some big plays, big catches. Nice to see him continue to be a bright spot in this Boomer offense, and had some big momentum plays when we needed it, right? Being able to get some big first downs, and just that, as you mentioned earlier, that perfect complement to what Cole Woodward does with the speedster ways. Graff, just that nice possession receiver that you can rely upon a lot of times.
Yeah, I think Jake's kind of that. I guess you could almost say comfort blanket, for Ryan Douglas Fisher. He, somebody he knows that, even if he has to get out of the pocket, if he gets a little bit of pressure. He knows that he can look for Jake kind of hiding in that zone, and Jake will go in there and make a catch.
Bank of Western Oklahoma goes beyond banking no matter where you are. The Bank of Western Oklahoma is always close. Find a location near you at bankofwesternoklahoma.com. Bank of Western Oklahoma, player of the game, Jake Graff this week. Well, as we look forward to next week, of course, as we mentioned, homecoming on the horizon for the Boomers. They will welcome Bridge Creek into town. It'll be a full week of some fun activities with that. Not only homecoming, you'll have your Hall of Fame banquet on Sunday. Of course, the parade Friday afternoon as well. Be a lot of fun to look forward towards that. Fall days at the event center with K101, so come check that out this homecoming weekend. That'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 days there of all the vendors. And a lot of good fun, a lot of good people out there that'll be checking in with us. And as far as the college slate for tomorrow on Saturday, don't forget OSU on K101 tomorrow night as they take on BYU. Late start, 9:15 kickoff. Pregame coverage begins at 7 there on K101. Then Saturday here on Z92, it'll be Oklahoma welcoming South Carolina into Norman. That kickoff at 11:45. Pregame coverage starting at 8:30, bright and early on Z92. With that all said, we appreciate everybody tuning in as you do with us here on Boomer TV and Z92. And we look forward to talking with you on Wednesday for the Boomer Coaches Show ahead of a fun matchup with Bridge Creek for homecoming. Everybody, have a great